This is Beyond Stars Productions. Hello and welcome to Star Power and Everything podcast. We're talking about Doctor Who this week. Whoa!
Hey.
It's like I've not left an awful lot of running. I mean, I haven't, but joining me today on this venture through time and space, we have Jack Alexander. Say hello.
Hello. Howdy.
Thomas Beech.
Hello there.
And Ewan Wallace.
Greetings, mortals.
I assure you, he's not like that normally. We don't know what's going on with him.
But no, he punched me when I met him at Big Finish Day.
I will start
It's true. You have photographic evidence, but we made up now.
I will start with a little note. If you heard the previous episode, I said Tilly was going to be on this pod. Unfortunately, Tilly is not well, so we've had to pull in Thomas instead.
Bi-generated.
Bi-generated. Tilly will appear on a future episode, I'm sure.
Love you, Tilly.
We wish her all the best. Much love. Hope you enjoyed just listening. Maybe that'll help you feel better. Anyway, on to Doctor Who. I have a
Never seen it.
Right, pod's over, I guess. That's it. Pack your bags.
Thanks,
Right.
Jack.
Cheers.
No, on the serious note, I have a list of questions.
Ooh.
Some a bit kind of standard, some I took notes of from an awful, actually. Which is very much the first question for you all is, where did your love for Doctor Who begin? Jack, you go first.
Well, I mean, if anyone ever wants to go back and listen to a terrible episode of the podcast, the very first one, myself and Robin go through our Doctor Who Secret Origins, and it hasn't got the polish the pod does now, but still. Doctor Who was always something I was sort of aware of. I think just being British, it's just in our cultural zeitgeist. Certainly at the time growing up, I knew what the TARDIS was. I knew what Daleks were, whether it be just from seeing them on an advert or the Peter Cushing films on a bank holiday weekend, which were always the best bank holiday weekends when I could find them on. But then for me, I became a Doctor Who really when it was Doctor Who night back in 1999. I saw the buzz around it, being only 8 at the time, though. And my parents went, "Oh, you might enjoy this." It was on later than my bedtime, so I recorded it all and saw these sketches with different people. I didn't know who they were. Like Peter Davison was in one with different people. And then a few episodes of Doctor Who and a TV movie was there as well. And I really fell in love with it. And after that, they repeated some Pertwee stories on the BBC, and then they did some Tom Baker stories as well. I think they did Spearhead from Space on the Silurians, and then got Cold Feet and went straight to like Genesis the Daleks or something. Because they're like, oh, they want the rerun to do well. And then it went away for a bit, and I didn't really think of Doctor Who again until 2005. And I've said it on the podcast before, but when Rose came out, it was 2 days before my 14th birthday, and it is frankly the best early birthday present I have ever had in my life, because it set me on this path now, and I have amazing friends in this fandom. Some of them right here.
Oh,
Hey.
Yeah.
Hold
So that's
that
Doctor
thought.
Who.
Hold that thought, because that is an upcoming question. Thomas, where did your love for Doctor Who begin?
oh my goodness. So my love for Doctor Who certainly came in 2005. It was about maybe a couple of months or so before the reboot. But essentially, I loved science fiction as a little kid. I used to write stories all the time in school. And I remember seeing a lot of sort of like the buzz, some trailers on television and things like that, and billboards and stuff, stuff on bus stops and things. And basically, I remember asking, "What's Doctor Who all about? It looks really cool." And it was my dad who said, "Oh, you'd like this, Tom. I reckon you'd enjoy this." Rambling Pete Beech, who's been on the on the Awful Lot of Running podcast a couple of times. So coincidentally with that, the Sun newspaper, in quotation marks, did a special kind of release where if you subscribed, you got like a DVD of a Classic Who episode. So we got a subscription just for that month, basically, of they gave out like part ones of Classic Who. So they had like Earthshock Part 1, Spearhead from Space Part 1, what was I think? No, Dalek Master Plan Part 2, because I think that was still missing most of the time. And then Robots of Death, that's it. So I think there was like 5 in total. And I remember getting Spearhead from Space and Robots of Death and Earthshock. They were my first 3 Doctor Who episodes. And I just didn't get it because I was really young at the time, and my dad didn't tell me about regeneration and all stuff like that. So I watched Spearhead from Space because my dad was like, "Oh, that's the one I watched when I was a kid." So I put that one on, and then I watch it. I'm enjoying it. He gets shot, dies, credits roll, and I'm like, "Oh, that was weird." I put the next episode on. I put Earthshock on, and they were a completely different Doctor, completely different team, different thing completely altogether. I was like, "This doesn't make sense," because I didn't get that at the time it was all serialized and it was different doctors and different people. So I was like, oh, he's going to get killed by these silver robot men. That freaked me out now, the Cybermen, the first time seeing them for the first time. And then I put on Robots of Death, and oh, it's a different doctor again, different person, they're in a different place. He gets buried in sand and bloody dies. And I'm like, why are they all dying in every episode? What's going? I didn't. It confused the living hell out of me because I had all these DVDs that I thought came one after the other. And fun fact, I didn't actually see the resolution of Robots of Death until the Blu-ray came out for the collection. So for several years, I was just
called Guinness World Records. I think that's
I was like, for several years, I was like, Tom Baker just died in a sand pit. But then, so I was a bit turned off from Doctor Who at that point. I was like, I don't get why my dad liked this so much. I was like, that's really rubbish. But then the Sci-Fi Channel, about a week or 2 before Rose came out on BBC, put out the TV movie on broadcast with Paul McGann and everything. And that was perfect for me. That was exactly what I kind of needed. My dad burnt it on a DVD for me, which I wish I still had, but that was probably my favorite thing I had on DVD at the time. And because of the TV movie, it explained what regeneration was, and the Time Lords have multiple lives, and the Time Lords, that opening monologue, it was on the home planet Skaro where, my old enemy of the Masters, it was just like it finally sort of explained a lot of things. I know a lot of people lambast the opening for dumping everything on you, but I am the king of over dumping, and I need all the lore and all the story and all the backstory. Like, yes, Paul McGann, tell me everything. So that explained everything. That explained why all the doctors had different faces, why they kept dying. Again, I didn't know it was the whole like cliffhanger thing that they were going to be fine the next week or whatever. But to me, that rationalized, oh, that's what that was. So then eventually it came out on TV, and I adored it so much. I felt so much like the Doctor because at the time I was growing up with my autism and everything, and it was still new to me. Now I was in primary school and everything, and I was treated very much like an alien. Honestly, I was treated like something completely otherworldly. I was often on separate chairs, sort of separate tables, separate rooms from all the other classmates. Whenever all the kids would sit on the floor, I'd be on a chair for some reason, like standing out tall above everybody. So I don't know if they thought I was contagious because it was like the early 2000s and they didn't quite get what autism was. Like autism sort of treatment and autism awareness was like bare minimum. Like they knew we were about, but they just didn't know how to deal with us, and they didn't want to deal with us, to be honest. So it was so nice to have a show like Doctor Who, which was so out of the ordinary, and things in the real world becoming fantastical, which to me and my imagination really drew me in, and that sort of kept me on. And then it also taught me how to use the internet, weirdly enough, because at the time Doctor Who was on, there was the website, the Doctor Who website and everything with the games on and stuff like that.
And don't forget Clive's website. Clive's
website and the BBC website.
Playing the Dalek.
The Dalek game was so good.
That was the first time I learned about Sudoku. Because there
Yeah.
was like the Doctor Sudoku thing, I think it was. And I'll never forget this soundbite. Clom.
Plum.
Do you remember as well? They had the one where it was like you were hacking the like in Aliens of no in World War Three you were
Yeah, yeah.
hacking the thing and you had to put in the Buffalo password as well
Yeah.
and like ah
I love the Cyberman one, when you were playing as the preachers and it was like Risk where you had to take over like that was so cool. And then obviously that helped me sort of with drawing as well. So I learned how to draw a TARDIS and it really helped with my maths. And I remember my favorite memory is I went to
Hold,
the
hold that
hairdresser.
thought.
I'm
Hold
so
that
sorry,
thought.
I'm just okay.
Hold that thought. I love the enthusiasm. You're racing ahead in my questions.
Well, okay, I'll end it real quick because it's still into my love of Doctor Who. But I remember going to the hairdressers and I wanted my hair like Christopher Eccleston, and I wanted like the sort of I
Oh,
wanted like the receding hairline bit like that I've got now. But the hairdresser were like, "No, you're too young for that, Tom. You can't have that hair." And then when David Tennant eventually appeared, I was like, "Yeah, I can finally have my hair like like the Doctor."
I can relate to a lot of that because you know what? No, Ewan, you go next, and then
Mhm.
I'll do my own bit. Ewan, where did your love for Doctor Who begin?
so my journey sort of began later. Like I had no clue that Doctor Who had been revived or even existed for that matter until roughly around 2007 when I saw the series 3 trailer, and it was like, well, it still is like one of the coolest things ever, especially that shot from like the close-ups of the Doctor and Martha panning out and revealing the TARDIS in the middle. That is a
Oh yeah,
cool as fuck shot.
I wish
Sorry,
they.
can I
I wish.
swear? I should have
Yeah,
asked.
no. You can fucking swear. I don't fucking
let's
care.
go.
Well, there we are then. But yeah, 2007 Smith and Jones was my kicking off point, although I do vaguely remember a shot from Doomsday, probably like possibly one of the window scenes where Ten's looking out over London being destroyed and the cyber leader comes
Yeah,
up. Officially, it was 2007. Royal Hope Hospital, On the Moon, Jadoon, Platoon.
shout out to
Uh,
Oliver Morgenstern.
yeah, I love
yeah.
that
Shout out to
movie.
Ollie.
Oh my God, yeah. that was an amazing MCM, just him showing up in costume. Um,
It was like you were back to watching that episode for the first time all over.
we should probably explain context. Our friend Oliver pretty much looks exactly like a character from Doctor Who.
I
To the point where he
discovered
even signed
this.
Battles
I
in
watched
Time
it
cards
happen.
for the
I
character.
made it
Ah,
It
happen.
happened. A whole
yes.
fandom on fire.
So yes, Jadoon Platoon on the moon and Anne Reed. I think it's Anne Reed with a straw sucking blood, and
Oh
it's like
God.
I'm sold. I am sold. Or in my own childhood way, I was sold on the show, and I've never really stopped with my love and daughter. It's been a constant in my life, and it's led to friendships, to all sorts of weird ventures. Like
Again, hold that thought.
I
You
do.
all you all kind of just jump into the next
Sorry,
question.
yes.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I should have thought of the questions better because a lot of them kind of do link and do feel the same as
Uh,
mine. But it's a second episode. I'm still working out the format.
You can't stop it
But
now.
uh,
right.
I'll go from my bit now, where my
Yes, yeah, go on.
Jack's heard this bit, and I think Jack enjoys the story of how I fucking hated Doctor Who.
Bye,
Shock,
everyone. Thanks for
gasp,
listening.
etc.
I watched Rose. I watched all the episodes up until Dalek, and I hated it for the sole reason my mum liked
Oh
it,
yeah.
and therefore it was cringe. And then,
Parent liking a TV show? Ugh, gag.
yeah, no, the same thing happened for Supernatural, but I'll save that for the Supernatural episode of the podcast. Uh, but yeah, no, so we got to Dalek, and this was at the point because I was kind of warming to it by the last episodes, but I wouldn't admit it.
Yeah.
But then Dalek happens. You get the first introduction of the Dalek. You get that scene with Eccleston in the cage, and it's terrifying.
Mhm.
And then it breaks out, it's killing everything, and it's very intense. And to this day, is by far one of the best episodes of Doctor Who.
Oh, it is.
That was what finally sold me. Having the Doctor scared. And not this like perfect character, scared, anger. I loved seeing these different things from someone that, from my understanding of the previous 5 episodes, was supposed to be a hero. It was nice to see something that isn't just, ooh, a perfect hero. I mean, when looking back, that's not what he was like in the first 5 episodes, but from a point of view of someone who's trying to hate it because my mum liked it, I didn't see that until Dalek. And then from there, it just kind of went mental, and well, here we are now,
Yeah.
I guess.
Indeed.
So that leads us on very nicely to the question you've all started to try answering, which is, what impact did Doctor Who have on your life?
Ooh.
Blimey.
I
Debt.
mean,
Um,
do you mind if I jump in?
Yeah,
Sure,
no,
why
we'll
not?
go,
Yeah.
we'll go the same order again.
Okay, I
Consistency.
mean,
I like the show.
I think it's fair to say Doctor Who became my hyperfixation from the age of 13, almost 14, and has stayed that before I even realized that I was probably neurodivergent or even knew what the word neurodivergent meant. It was like, oh, this is something different. This is my thing here. And like, there's other franchises and brands and things that I really enjoy, or other IPs, but Doctor Who's been that one constant thing. And I would say I don't think it really changed my life. I mean, it definitely changed the way I sort of experience fandom and what have you. But I didn't really start engaging with the fandom until like 2020, until COVID.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. It's until lockdown, I really started engaging the fandom, and then that led into things like an awful lot of running and other appearances that I did and things from there, and just really reaching out and making friends, which I didn't really have that before. I always, again, probably neurodivergent, but always struggled making friends in real life. I don't know. I didn't know what that was. I couldn't put my finger on it, and I certainly didn't have any friends who were big into Doctor Who like I was. So it was really, really something to then start connecting with people and having that space. And the podcast is a real vehicle for that. And I mean, it's changed my life now in that I have so many friends. I have had opportunities because of Doctor Who, which I wouldn't have had before. And yeah, I suppose that's it.
Okay, well, now we move on to Thomas.
Oh, well, how Doctor Who's impacted my life, it has fundamentally changed everything. You know what I mean? Even back in 2005, I knew this was going to be something that I could latch onto, and it could be my comfort, my sanctuary in a way. It's something I could reliably rely on every Saturday, well, nearly every Saturday. If I was having trouble at school, I could come home and watch, Sarah Jane Adventures or Doctor Who. I couldn't watch Torchwood yet. But I did watch Children of Earth when I was in primary school.
Oh gosh, I watched that as a kid as well. Actually.
What? Sorry, I was a teenager. Like I was. When did Children of Earth come out? Was it
2009?
So it was the year before I went to university. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Especially at primary school age,
yeah,
where that's what they age the kids were.
Yeah, exactly. What freaked the hell out? I was
Jack,
like, oh my God.
Jack, you mentioned Doctor Who night. That was literally the year I was born.
Ewan, shut up.
Oh my God, you weren't going to go there. You can't believe you went there.
God.
You forget I'm in charge of this Zoom, so I can kick you off it at a moment's notice.
You don't have the authority,
We're
Jackie.
recording on Zoom.
Yeah, we are recording on Zoom, and we're currently using an awful pod kind of Zoom for this because me and Jack engaged in a business deal. He gets my Crunchyroll and my, what's the other one? Marvel
Marvel
Unlimited.
Unlimited, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get my Crunchyroll Marvel Unlimited. I get to make this podcast. Sorry, Thomas. Back
That's
to
all right.
as you were.
Yes.
Oh my god! So I knew it was going to change my life.
Mhm.
I was already into writing at the time. I was doing little stories with my action figures and toys and stuff because I loved Toy Story when I was little. So I used to just bash out stories on Microsoft Word, like 2007 Microsoft Word.
Oh
And
God,
I'd print.
sorry. So you've given me the thought of Doctor Who Toy Story, but
No, I used to do that. I had the figures and everything. Yeah,
it's the Christopher Eccleston figure comes alive,
yeah.
but it's Dalek.
Get in the church.
No,
What's going
it's
on
Da-
later then?
Oh,
it's
with the
specifically
terrible
the
Billy
Silver
Piper
Dalek.
action figure that's doing like the whatever pose that is with the twisted hip. And
Yeah.
Oh, do you mean the 16th Doctor?
16th, well, legally distinct Doctor figure currently because we still don't know. As of today, we still don't have like any actual press or
Oh,
whatever.
come on. Let's not take copium now. Carry on with your story.
Yeah, we'll
No,
we'll
it's a
get to
story.
that. That's question 4.
Oh, okay. How much copium do you take? So yeah, Doctor Who. It already gave me a great vehicle for creativity, and with the books coming out, I read a lot. I read all of those. I started writing my own Doctor Who books when I was little. You know, the classic staple a bunch of pages together and write whatever was left in there. So I wrote a novel based on the 2010 World Cup at one point because that was during the Matt Smith era. I wrote a sequel story to Idiot's Lantern with The Wire coming back. I wrote a load of Doctor Who comics and stuff because I was inspired by Captain Underpants. You know, they did like the comics sort of thing, business. Storytelling was always like the big thing for me, and Doctor Who was such a great vehicle for that. It inspired my love of collecting things. So the Doctor Who Alien Attacks came out, and the Battles in Time cards came out. It inspired a few. It inspired a few fights between friends because people were stealing my cards.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Bastards.
I thought you meant they were going to be like, Davison's a better Doctor. You're like,
no, it was
gotta
full
make
on.
her
A friend of mine broke into my sort of TARDIS and stole all my shinies and like sold them on. Yeah, I shit you not. He full on snapped me lock that I had on my TARDIS because it came with like a padlock and everything. I'd set it to a particular code, which was the channel name for Cartoon Network at the time, 603.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because that was my
those were
favorite
the
cartoon
days.
channel. So I loved Ed, Ed, and Eddie, and
Same. Yeah,
Cramp Twins.
Well, we'll get to
Chowder.
Cartoon
I
Network.
love Chowder.
We'll get to Cartoon Network on a different episode. I
Oh
promise.
my god, yes.
Yes, of course.
So that was my favorite channel. But then, yeah, my friend at the time broke into me Doctor Who card collection and was selling off my shinies and my foils and stuff. So I had the hovering Dalek in foil, you know, the one from the Dalek episode, you know, where he shocks the water and everything. And that was quite awful because my mum was just like, have you been trading your cards? Have you been selling off your cards? I'm like, no, I haven't, mum, I promise. But no, it turned out, yeah, my friend had broken into my collection and was selling them off and trading them. And I was getting done for it, even though, yeah, I wouldn't trade anything. I mean, I'll trade every now and then, but it weren't anything rare because I knew how expensive, you know, £1.50 a pack back then, you know, that was like your whole pocket money's worth. Bloody inflation. Now it's Magic the Gathering and it's like £23 a pack of cards. Yeah, but believe me, yeah, Doctor Who Magic the Gathering, it cleaned me out.
This is why you should be buying One Piece cards. Invest
I mean, they're
in
almost
One
the same
Piece
thing.
cards.
You're only investing in One Piece cards because I'm the one that fucking buys them.
Invest. Okay, so trying to sort of time travel and speed up a bit. So Doctor Who's really impacted so much because, yeah, it's inspired my creativity. I've got friends now. I've branched out more as a person. You know, I'm doing podcasts. I've been writing. I've been getting stuff published. I've met people at conventions. You know, I was always so withdrawn. I've been punched at conventions now because of Doctor Who. Thanks, Ewan.
As mentioned, it was an event for Stuff of Legend, and it was a nice day.
It was a fantastic day
until Ewan soured and
Ewan just
attacked Thomas.
Until the Ewan Nation attacked.
Is this where I would tell everyone about the time you kicked me in the balls at MCM?
That is a scandalous lie.
It's true. He couldn't reach my balls.
Scandalous.
I'm gonna say I think my final point. I think the biggest impact Doctor Who's had on my life. Like I've been debating whether or not to sort of say this, but it's something I've always wanted to sort of talk about because it's such a big part of me of my life. But Doctor Who did literally save my life back in about 2006. So my mum had recently given birth to my little sister. And again, trigger warnings for like depression, postnatal depression, death, etc. And basically, my mum was struggling really bad with it, to the point where she was on the verge of possibly driving me, my little brother, and my born sister into a lake to sort of end everything. She was really bad with depression. Her family weren't giving a damn or anything like that. Thankfully, she got better and everything. But the biggest thing that sort of stopped her from doing that was me on the way home from school being excited about what was going to happen in Doctor Who. Because I was talking about, it was the Satan Pit and the Impossible Planet. So it was the two-parter of that. And I remember I don't remember that event specifically, but my mum always will because of what happened. But she recently told me that, Doctor Who will always be special to us because it literally saved our lives. It saved me. It saved, because you were so excited to see what was going to happen next on Saturday that I didn't drive the car into I didn't do something as stupid as that. So I think the biggest impact, quite literally, is it saved my life, and it's forever a bond between me and my mum. I think that's the special thing. My mum's always done conventions with me. She's always watched the show with me, even if she's not like the biggest fan going. She's always listened to my ramble. She's always listened to you guys listen to my essays. She gets that every day from me. It's always something I'm talking about. We do trips out and everything for Doctor Who related reasons, and it's again, she's been so supportive and loving of like all my writing and meeting with Doctor Who actors and fans and doing the podcast and things like that. She's upstairs now, really proud that I've hopped onto this podcast again to chat with you guys and everything.
Again, you've not been here yet.
Well, I mean, I know previously for an awful lot of running and everything.
I know.
But it's yeah. I think I'm sorry to drop a big.
No, genuinely, I'm gonna say this as the host. I really appreciate that you wanted to share that.
Yeah.
On this podcast, especially, like this is the episode 2 of a very big journey, and it means a lot that you're very open and sharing. On something that's really special to me, because this whole podcast, the whole point of it is I want it to be a safe space. I want it to feel special, and I want people to feel comfortable. And I mean, for our second episode, that's working.
Yeah. I just wanted to sort of say something a bit different to normal, because I don't know, I wanted something not extra, but I just because Doctor Who does mean, people do say that Doctor Who saved their life and everything. People do say that, and that every way that means that is absolutely valid to so many people. Some people it lifts them up out of a bad day. Some people it saves their life. So many people say that Doctor Who's just a show, or it's just for kids, or it doesn't matter. But to some, it literally does. It really did literally mean like life and death, or serious injury. If it weren't for Impossible Planet and that incredible sort of cliffhanger, I wouldn't be talking about it on the way home from school or whatever, or being excited about what happens next, and then or being so gripped by television at such a young age, being inspired by that and talking about it. I dread to think where I'd be today without Doctor Who. I don't think anything in my life at that time, other than maybe Crystal Maze or Takeshi's Castle, but I can't imagine any of that inspiring enough to talk about to save my life. I think Doctor Who is such a needed, important show, because it inspires creativity, because it inspires like morals as well. The Doctor's a very great sort of moral character, and your companions as well. It's such a valid sort of important show.
Yeah, no, I completely understand that. I mean, you say that it saved a lot of people, and hello, I am one of those people. I also would not be here. I've had my own experiences, which there's too much for me to get into just now.
Okay.
But I've had those experiences. I pretty much got my ass handed to me as a kid because I insisted on wearing Converses or trying to be like the Doctor, and everyone thought it was a bit weird. And until I think it was like Matt Smith, it really did get me down. Like I was still excited by Doctor Who.
Mm.
But then after Doctor Who was done, I would have a week where I'm at school and I have to get told all these things about Doctor Who. I get the piss taken out of me because I like Doctor
Yeah.
Who, and it got me
Yeah.
down. And it came to a point where it's 2010. Series 5 is about to start.
Yeah.
School is still a bit air.
Yeah.
My granny has passed away,
Oh.
Mm.
and everything was kind of eating away at me. I think when I saw Matt Smith as the Doctor, and that he was just embracing it, regardless of what people were saying,
Yeah.
he was much more out there, much more weird, and a lot of people commented on it. They were like, "Oh, you wear bow ties," and he just brushed it off
Oh
gracefully,
yeah.
didn't care, and I needed that. And I think, especially Smith's Doctor and later on Capaldi's, but that's just because I'm Scottish. But Smith's Doctor definitely had a impact on me and is very much a reason to why I'm here. I mean, if it wasn't for, I'm going for the in between because it was also the end of time that kind of got me started on the fan films.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because I
Oh,
started
yes.
January 2010 with a short film called Double Trouble, which I did with my friend Grant Jameson, who will be on the podcast later, talking about Marvel. That fan film is lost because my voice hadn't broken and I
Okay.
was doing the worst British accent ever. So thank God for small mercies.
God, I cannot imagine a British star. Ugh.
Oh, I think you can.
I mean, there's worse Doctor Who fan
Uh,
films out there than what you would have made, I'm sure.
I was about
I
to.
mean,
I was
yeah.
about to quote one, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do that on this podcast.
No,
No.
none of that. Well, diss my podcast. No, don't diss my podcast. Diss my fan film. Don't diss my podcast on the podcast. Diss out.
What's that, Boris? We're going to save the world? Yes, mate. Jesus Christ.
God.
That's
Let me
Boris
fly the plane,
Johnson.
Doc. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I had to let it out.
okay.
this is derailing a bit, and I haven't even gotten to my bit.
I'm so sorry. This is what happens on these pods. Where was I? Yeah, so Matt Smith's Doctor had the bigger impact on me because it let me embrace a weirder side on me.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was the biggest impact. Yes, he let me embrace myself and let me be a bit weird. And I started going to school and tying my tie into a bow tie.
Oh.
But I think it was later when Jodie appeared,
Yes.
which had the biggest impact because not only did Peter Capaldi regenerate into Jodie Whittaker, I regenerated from Alexander to Star.
Hmm.
Though admittedly I went through a few different names before I got to Star, but the point is still there.
Yeah.
Jodie was there during my main transition journey, and I think Jodie had the bigger impact on my life.
Yeah.
I think Jodie in a way has also done the same as Smith and saved me in a way.
Mhm.
Now, I've got that bit out of the way. Ewan, how did it impact your life? You've got
Well,
quite the high
admittedly,
bar.
yeah, admittedly, I don't think it's reached quite the same heights as you three, but
It's all valid. There's
yeah,
there's no one up
again,
it,
yeah,
but
it's
The
just
show
a
impacts
tough
everyone
act to
differently.
follow up, shall we say? But no, uh, I don't know who I'd be without Doctor Who, to be honest, because I got into like drama and art at school as a result of Doctor Who. Like, I still have a couple of bits and pieces tied into Doctor Who. I remember I did actually do like this Doctor Who fanfic thing of like me meeting David Tennant's Doctor and then Tennant regenerating because, well, at the time, who knew who the 11th Doctor was? I mean, one of my first one of the first fan films I actually saw was Doctor Who: The 11th Regeneration,
Ooh.
and that sort of sparked a whole thing later down the line of like fan content and
Oh yeah.
what have you. Um, I was gonna say a lot of us here are fan people, but there's most of us are fan doctors, And then we have Thomas, who's written a couple of things like the incredible short trip Ex Lib
Ex Libris, yeah.
yeah, which you can
Okay,
find
hang
over
on.
on Vocalab Productions.
We need to get Thomas a doctor.
To be a doctor.
Jack, you started an
And
auction the other day for
the bidding for the Thomas Beech Doctor shall begin now. I hear £50, £50, £100, £100,
Hmm.
£100.
It's
I mean,
200 quid
it'd be
back.
fantastic if I did become a fan doctor because I remember being stiffed out of being a doctor for the school like pantomime. And I was
Oh,
pissed. Even like little 9-year-old Tom was just pissed off because they knew I loved Doctor Who. They knew how much I were into it. Every day I was all Doctor Who. I had my lunchbox and screwdriver with me all the time,
yeah,
my pencil case and everything. Everything was
yeah.
Doctor Who related in my life.
I've still got my Doctor Who pencil case
The
somewhere.
one day I was sick off school, they'd completely like recast the Doctor, and we're never doing it again. And then we did like some kind of presentation, like over like decades of history or whatever. So each group of kids had like a presentation, and my group got given the 60s, which was hell yeah, that was great because
Yeah,
all stuff like the World Cup that happened, Doctor Who happened. So we wanted to do a Doctor Who sequence. Um, Again, I wanted to do the Doctor. They knew I wanted to do the Doctor. I had a screwdriver with me all the time. I was practicing all the time. No, they gave it to some other kid. I got to be a Cyberman. So I was given the massive Cyberman toy head.
oh my
And then
goodness.
they pushed me over and I severely damaged my fucking head. Like they pushed me backwards, stripped me over and everything because I was meant to be chasing them and delete. And then they tripped me up and I remember just like cracking my head on the back of on the stage. I mean, thankfully nothing were broken or anything, but like bloody hurt that hard plastic and everything. And it was just everyone laughing at me again. It was all just the misery of like I didn't get to be the hero. Like my whole time of being in primary school, I was always like just ugh, it is what
Yeah.
it is. But yeah, I'd love to be a fan doctor. I've written for plenty of doctors. It'd be fun to get some proper acting chops in. I did really want a drama. I did Blood Brothers.
I did a couple of plays. I remember being like Howard Carter, in a play about Egypt, but
Oh hell yeah! The what was it called? The cult, yeah, the appropriating culture. What was it? What did Shooty say in the Pyramid of Mars? Sort of, just like they're just like appropriating culture.
maybe I'm sorry, I don't really remember. It was still my first venture into like drawing, and I remember at some point I wrote down this sort of list of like stories I wanted to do because not only was I into like fan films but figure adventures as well, big into
Yeah,
like Batman March, for example, and like him covering all the various doctors, and 10 Doctors was like an event, right? I don't know if anyone remembers that, but Batman March's 10 Doctors was like peak peak childhood. Uh I jest. But no, like I said at the start, I don't know who I'd be without Doctor Who really, and I'm just grateful for like all the opportunities I've been able to get, like meeting so many people and forming my own universe after being exposed to so many like fan series, especially like Time Siren, for example.
Way!
Like literally, I remember being exposed to it through the Dark Days stuff, like holding out for a hero was
yeah.
the first time I saw Star Doctor, and then that led to like um eventually seeing Jack in it might have been another Rory thing actually, Rassilon Productions Rory Guest thing when he was doing the Doctor in Distress cover.
Oh yeah.
And then Jack was like announced as the Red Twilight Doctor, and then I got to watch
Woo!
7 Days on the 60th anniversary, I think they premiered.
They did, yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool. I had a nice Chinese takeaway while listening live to it.
Delish.
Yes. But yeah, in case my point wasn't clear, Doctor Who fucking rules.
Woo!
All right, that leads us perfectly on to. This is kind of relevant to the impact question because it's specific to a specific memory, a special
Ooh,
memory.
okay.
So, do you have any special memories of Doctor Who, be it a moment in the show that really spoke to you, or just like a moment at a convention, or meeting a celebrity, or hell,
Oh,
even the aforementioned building your own universes?
so many, so
So
many.
many.
I mean, if I'm talking a particular episode, I think I've got to go back to, and it's only a couple of years ago. Like I want to say Day of the Doctor because it's my favorite episode, and it was the 50th, and it felt so special, and it's been there for me when I've needed Doctor Who. Like I watched it the night my granddad passed away, I watched it the night my grand passed away, just I need it there. But I'm going to go Power of the Doctor
Okay, yeah, yeah.
because the absolute scenes that were my house,
Yeah,
me
yeah,
running around at different parts
yeah.
of it, particularly when we got to the Guardians of the Edge
Yes.
and we saw David Bradley and Colin Baker and Peter Davis and Sylvester McCoy, and I was so happy. The moment I went full Josh Carr
Yeah.
and jumped through my fucking ceiling,
Yeah.
and my ceiling was fucked, was the second Paul McGann came on screen,
Yes.
and I literally shouted, "Wait, it's Paul! It's Paul! It's Paul! It's Paul!"
Well, it's my
And
doctor.
he doesn't do road.
No, I think Cass genuinely had to check it wasn't having a heart attack.
I gotta say, shout out to Queen Liz for dying because I got an extra bank holiday out of that, and I was able to have,
She's a real one for that.
real one. I was able to have that holiday off because it was
Yeah.
like an extra sort of day off for the like bank holiday or whatever. So I didn't have to go into work for that. So shout out Queen. took one for the team.
God rest
Uh,
Cheers, Lizzie.
frankly, the greatest Whovian. You know, she had Marco Polo stashed somewhere in that fucking castle. You know,
The saddest thing is that I remember hearing all the rumors that she were a big Doctor Who fan and that Eccleston was her favorite Doctor. And one of my dreams was to like meet the Queen somehow and be like, "Are you really a Doctor Who fan? Like, are you secretly like, do you like?" I really wanted to know, but now
all he really is a parasite in her idiot hat.
And now it's like Charles in charge. I'm like, I don't want to ask him. Like, it'd be weird, but like, was your mum a Doctor Who fan? You know, that's sort of weird.
Mommy was a massive fan. Her favorite episode was was a husband's a bit of a song. It was quite ironic, really. I'm going to go for I'm going to say very quickly a moment at a convention which meant an awful lot to me, and there's so many things I could reference. Like the first time I was called onto stage at the BFI, which was a whole thing. But for me, it was a couple of years ago at Comic-Con Wales, meeting for the second time Peter Davison, but then meeting subsequently after that Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Paul McGann, and Sophie Aldred in person for the first time, which was just amazing. And just like they always say, never meet your heroes, but I mean, my God, they were all just fantastic and had that moment with them, which was just truly something special. Paul McGann, I felt like I could have talked to him for hours. He was just so lovely and so like interested in me as well, which was really, really lovely and really, really sweet.
He really is.
Yeah, I've met Paul, and at one point, because I was like wearing my 10th Doctor cosplay, when he was like signing my stuff, he as a sort of goodbye, he sort of said, "See you later, Doctor," and he was like, "Oh, Paul, you beautiful human being."
Oh, it's that voice. It's that hot chocolate voice, isn't it? It's just
Fair
velvet, and just like, oh, you silly little girl, and it's like, oh, but he says that it's so horrible, but it sounds so good, you know?
Yeah.
I met Paul McGann, and he was watching football on his phone. We were at a convention. He was watching, I think it was Liverpool versus Sunderland.
I did think, come on, Liverpool.
Yeah. And it was just hilarious because I was just sat having my autograph with him, and he dropped his phone up, and we were just stood there watching. It was kind of like a dead time at the con, and we were just watching football together. I was like, oh my god, I'm watching football with my doctor, because my first proper doctor was McGann, with the TV movie. It was the first full adventure.
God, I just want Paul McGann as a commentator now.
Oh, honestly, yeah. I mean, again, football wasn't like that massive for me. I mean, I was a huge Man United fan, but I remember always loving it when Jonathan Pierce narrated, because he used to narrate Robot Wars at the time.
All right.
So
Nice.
I was always imagining like, oh, I hope so. Killalot comes onto the pitch and just like chops Wayne Rooney in half or something. I just wanted like Robot Wars. I wanted Robot Wars back rather than football.
It's
Either
it's funny
Sorry,
that we
go
mentioned football because when I first met Paul McGann, it was in Aberdeen in the football stadium.
Oh wow.
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 For some reason, the Comic Con there had booked out the football place, despite it not really being great to host the convention. It was very, very all over the place. But God,
Must
he
have
was
been
so.
massive.
It was massive, but that was in fact part of the problem
Yeah.
because it was somewhat a newish con, so it had way too much space
Mhm.
and not a lot to fill it with.
Ah.
I remember there's this bit where you had to go upstairs, and that's where all the guests would be. And I remember
Yep.
seeing Paul McGann there.
Yeah.
I remember I had to take a minute. I saw him.
Yep.
I exited. Took a minute and just went, "Oh my god, he's real."
Yeah.
Went back in. Went back out. Yeah, he's still real. Then went up, and I'm nervous as hell. He just instantly, the moment he starts talking to you, you just calm. Because he's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're pretty cool.
Have I told you all the story of me meeting David Tennant before?
Don't
I'd like to
know.
hear it.
Okay, so
We can compare
2000
David Tennant stories.
Yeah. So what 2008 is when he's in Hamlet.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
And he's in Stratford upon Avon. And
Oh, is that when you were on stage and he announced you were leaving in that award ceremony?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's literally the stage door, and they have a couple of actors next to him.
Yeah.
It's during the interval of Hamlet.
Yeah.
No. So somehow I was at Exeter College at the time, and I was doing drama, A level, and what have you. Somehow they managed to get fucking tickets to like the hottest show around. Him doing that for the RSC. So we were in a residential to Stratford, and we see the show. I'm absolutely blown away. Obviously, I'm a massive Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
Previously in that trip, I met Sacha Dhawan as well. Who obviously wasn't in Doctor Who at all, but by the time he came into it, I was like, oh my god, she's really lovely. Anyway,
yay.
The show finishes, and I'm like, I probably should work out where the stage door is because I've bought a program. It'd be really nice to get an autograph. And I see two people running out of the theatre, and I'm sort of just stood by myself. Other people on the residential are just like away and just doing things. And I go, those two people, they're either running for like a bus or a train. All they know where the stage door is. Okay, I got a chance here. It might look really dodgy if I run after them, but I'm gonna risk it. It's the stage door. It's like the most amount of people I've ever seen around the stage door before in my life. Ever. Goodness. It's like caged off different bits. There's like a platform he has to come to and sign autographs. It's crazy because it's that Doctor Who time. This is when Doctor Who was events TV, is what people don't understand. So we're like,
when they had the Toys R Us stand and everything, like, it was everything.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, that was.
And Patrick Stewart's in this play as well, by the way. So
crazy.
Wow.
Who's that guy?
Tennant, David comes out. Because I'm tall, I'm able to sort of get my program to the front.
Move over, peasants.
And he's really lovely to everyone. Like, he signs a few ones, and he says to me he was like, "Thank you so much for coming. Where are you coming from?" I said, "Oh, Exeter." He's like, "Oh, Exeter. Well, that's a bit of a way, isn't it? Thank you so much for coming." Does a couple more, runs back inside, and I'm sort of dazed, stardust, like dazed and confused. I wander back over to the lobby, and people are like, "Jack, where have you been?" and I can't speak. I'm
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
unable to speak, and I hold up the program, and obviously, again at that point, almost everyone's like a Doctor Who fan in some way.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, where the fuck is the stage door? Take us there now. So I turn back around again, not saying anything, and trudge over the stage to the stage door. At which point, it's a matinee we've seen, by the way. So a security guard or a guy that works at the theatre comes out and is like, everyone, Mr. Tennant has left the building, and so has Mr. Stewart. They'll be back later for the evening performance, but please do not hang around. You know,
Fair enough.
at which point I feel the like 50 sets of eyes of drama students whipping at me, and I just go, oh fuck.
Skill issue, mates.
I'm telling you now, I've still got that program. It's in a
hell yeah.
locked like file at my parents' house.
Oh,
Because
wow.
that is one of my prized possessions.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I will not tell you. I slept with it underneath my pillow. Like I was like, you know,
Good night, David.
yeah, that was it. Totally.
I had a similar situation with meeting John Bishop because he were doing Mother Goose a while ago.
Yeah, with Ian
Ian
McKellen.
McKellen. So that was my experience of standing at the stage door. And again, that was massive, that was packed. We were standing outside for ages. And I remember, again, it was next to a busy road. So people were driving by and they were yelling, oh, who are you waiting for? Oh, who are you waiting for? And people were like, oh, Ian McKellen, Gandalf, everything else has been in.
Yeah.
And then I shouted, John Bishop as Dan.
Evil Dan.
Evil
What's the point
Dan.
of being alive?
Oh. So I finally got to meet John Bishop and he was lovely. And I had one of Alfie's shirts, you know, so it was the Power of the Doctor shirt. And I had all the different characters on it all over. And they were like, oh, I'm on that shirt. What am I doing on there? So, oh, there's the master. And they were just pointing to everybody. I've got all the photos and that. And he was lovely to meet behind stage door. He walked out like a flat cap and a scarf. I nearly missed him. He looked like just an all normal bloke. It was my dad. I was like, hey up, John. It was like, oh, shit. And then recently, my mum and dad went to the Pratt Pack in, I think it was Sheffield. So it were Bradley Walsh, Joe Pasquale, and then Sean Ritchie, and I can't remember who the other bloke were, but they were like a comedy quad, you know, like quadrille or whatever, and they were singing songs and doing jokes and things. And my mum and dad amazingly managed to get an autograph from Bradders on my season 12 steelbook. They were only signing like programs and stuff from the performance and that, so my dad had to slip the steelbook underneath the program. So Brad signed the program and then like he slipped it and went, oh yeah, quick sign this for my boy. And he sort of turned it over because it's got all the different signatures on from the different, you know, it's got like Jodie, Joe Martin, Sacha Dhawan there. So he knew it wasn't just like a scalper type thing because someone was gonna, because I've got the video of it and there was a guy going, hey, what's this? And he was like, oh no, it's all right, it's a proper fan. It's his son that's wanting to sign in for him. Look at all the people he's met, and he was showing off. And I was like, oh, all on video. So it was nice that, because I hate the scalper culture and the autograph hunters. You know, the ones that just.
Oh, that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole other conversation.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ewan, do you have any special memories?
I probably have tons, but bringing one to the surface, I was thinking about this, and I think it is genuinely October last year at the community show, and the panel was going on with the 5 fan doctors.
Oh,
female.
Who could have possibly been on that?
Yeah. But one of the special moments from that I think I will treasure for quite some time was receiving a gift from you, or the friendship bracelet made up of beads that represent all the doctors that were there. So like stars for Star, red beads for Red Twilight, some for Techno Doctor, Rory's Doctor, and Fairy Tale, Gydra's Doctor. Gotta get a Gydra mention in the podcast.
No, guy just getting a mention in my kind of story because I'll let you finish, but I have a domino effect
And
story.
finally, there was like this sort of rainbow thing for James York's Queer Doctor, who is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. But I think I nearly teared up when I like got a shout out and received it. It was genuinely special, and I thank you guys so much for that.
Oh,
Hey,
It
no,
was
listen.
so sorry, Stark. Can I just very quickly say to
Yeah,
you,
no, by all
it
means.
was so warranted, and it's so with the things you do, whether it be the timelining or the general positivity
oh
you
yeah.
have for
Hmm.
so much fan stuff. It felt so right to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah.
for being you, Ewan.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a whole other aspect of my life that I do for just a hobby. I like looking at the sort of like playlist that all the fan series made and go like, I can chart out a timeline for all the different Doctors. I'm gonna do that, and it's resulted in goodness knows how many, but it's in the dozens, maybe close to 100. Which is funny considering Rory's doing a whole The Hundred Doctors finale for his series. Um, but yeah, uh, thank you again, and I'm honoured by your lovely words, Jack.
Oh.
I cannot back up Jack's words enough. Like, again, especially with, and I'm going to talk about it briefly. Lately, the fandom's been a bit messy, shall we say?
It
And
has been a
it's
time.
yes, it has certainly been the most fandom there has been. Um, and it's nice just to see that there are people like yourself that keep some positivity going. And it's just nice that we can all just enjoy the show, even if we don't like what's happening with it at the moment.
Hmm.
But going on to what impacted, or special memory rather, for me, it's the domino effect
Yeah.
for me.
Oh yeah.
So technically, you could argue the domino effect started years before, uh, because I still have Tumblr and I was posting Doctor Who. But the real domino effect, which I'll link that back to later, was when I went to London Film Comic Con 2018
Ooh.
because Andrew, one of my friends who will also be on the Marvel episode, uh, they had a space come up on their flight, and Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith were going to be at the con.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, I'll go. This was my first flight as well.
Oh wow.
So this
Wow.
was like absolutely insane for me, and I was just like, fine, I'll go. Take me with you. So we go, and it's great. It puts me in quite the debt, but it's okay because Peter Capaldi wore my sunglasses.
Yeah.
Way.
And this is where the domino effect begins, because this is also the same con that I brush paths with a few people that have became pretty important to the future of me. Because
Uh-huh.
I briefly met Dom at
Oh yeah, done.
Con. I met Katie, and there is a very high chance Gydra was behind me in the line for Peter Capaldi. So
It is very funny because I met Gydra for the first time in a line for Jacoby back in November 2023.
there you go. Um, but yeah, no, it's very odd that it kind of just going to this one con and being in debt, which still has the domino effect following. I brushed against a lot of people that will later on be quite significant to things I do
Yeah.
later.
Sure, yeah.
That night, they announced David Tennant. My bank account, already incredibly in the minus,
Oh my
has
goodness.
suffered some more.
No.
The
I
laws of
do it
time align
anyway.
and they will
I'm
obey me.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much everyone because it was such a last minute thing. Everyone was on their phones. Signal was dying
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh God.
I got the tickets, met David Tennant. David Tennant said it looked great, and I have held that over
Yes.
my head for ages. Um, but the domino effect from there is when I get back. I'm also doing TikTok at the time. I've got my own doctor, not Star Doctor, the one before, the one I eventually kill off because they're a man. Um, I'm doing TikToks on TikTok, and one person starts following me, and I'm doing a live stream, and they pop up in the chat because they really like my Doctor Who stuff. That person is my husband, Cass.
Oh,
Oh.
We finished the live stream. It was great. I forgot who he was.
Oh,
Because he showed up on the next live stream I did and was like, "Do you remember me?" And I'm like, "No."
oh,
But
proper
then we
sliding
hit it
doors.
off. We got there and um we dated very fast after that.
Oh.
And then I
Oh.
mentioned that I had a massive debt, and he was just like, paid it off.
wow.
And we watched Jodie's first series together, and we kind of both. I think it changed both of us. I
Yeah.
can't really speak for Cass, but we both kind of realized different things about ourselves over the course of Jodie's era. And then when I met him for the first time in 2019 in person, and then he moved up. Doctor Who's special memory for me is just the domino effect of meeting David Tennant to meeting my husband.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
What a
And then
time of memories.
eventually the domino effect of going to London in 2018 to everyone that I probably met in London being part of my 2025 Doctor Who lineup.
Wow.
And
Mm.
also I have to shout out the community show panel because I think
Yeah.
my London trips are just really special to me, but that one was also really special because I don't really have friends up here. Everyone's kind of moved away. So being around friends was a real joy, and just knowing that Doctor Who brought all
Yeah.
that together was
We
great.
had an adventure to Tesco.
Yes, the sidestep, Tesco of Doom.
Yes.
Um, but I think we've gone on long enough for special memories. We are definitely well over an hour on this pod.
God, we are.
I mean, I'm happy to skip over my memories if need be.
I thought we did your memories.
No, I was kind of interjecting between because we did like Jack and then
Right, get back to your memories then. Come on, chop chop. Everyone's getting a fair turn.
Hmm.
okay, right. So I'll be quick. I'll do a memory from an episode. I'll do a memory from a con, and then I'll do like a special kind of random real life sort of memory. So me episode memory. I mean, I'll always remember like Doomsday, watching that for the first time. That was like hype. Um, Crying my eyes out when Rose died. Um, I think that was the biggest thing. I think that was the biggest emotional kind of stress at the time, like 2006 and everything. It was a huge sort of moment. We'd always have Doctor Who on like every Saturday and everything. And we used to do like picnics as well. We had like blanket on the floor and eating food and that. And that were a big sort of special moment. We did that for the Christmas special because we just moved in to a new house at that point and we didn't have much furniture. So we had the blanket on the floor and we watched the Christmas special of Doctor Who on the floor while eating hot dog sausages and stuff. And then my convention memories, I've got a few. I mean, I remember like strangling Sylvester McCoy with my scarf for a photo shoot because I was in my Master Doctor costume. Did a similar thing to Lisa Bauman, and I nearly actually garroted her because I was about to walk away, and she was like, "Don't walk away!" She just didn't untangle herself quick enough. Um, we've got. I'm trying to think. I mean, I love the conventions where I've gone with my friends. So I've done Valiant a few times with my friend Spidey, and that was a joy. The first time sort of going with like a group of friends and everyone knowing me and like in liking my company. Um, and then my final sort of real life memories. This is probably one of the pinnacles of my sort of Doctor Who life. It was the final year at university. It was coming up to graduation. I was at the point where I just didn't know where I was going to go with my life. I'd written a couple of Doctor Who fan fictions for a fan site, and I was just like, where am I going to go with my life? University's finishing. I guess I had a night shift job, but I was just like, this is my life now. Where is it all going to go? About a week before my graduation ceremony, I get an email from the university dean or the administrator, whatever, someone quite high up in the university going, "You've been invited to a special doctorate's lunch." I was like, "What?
Wow.
What's this all about?" And apparently, it was kind of kept under wraps because everything in the Chibnall era was kept under wraps, like literally everything, even promotional stuff was kept under wraps. And apparently, something special. They were going to give honorary doctorates to Chris Chibnall, Mandip Gill, Andy Pryor, and then the other executive producer who didn't actually turn up.
Ah.
So I was invited to this doctorate's lunch in private to meet Chris Chibnall, Mandip Gill, Andy Pryor, and the motherfucking dean of the entire university, like literally
Wow.
the head of the university, all behind closed doors. And it was absolutely surreal. So I got chatting. At first, they were on separate tables and everything. We're all on separate tables. I got chatting to like another because I was running the screen film and script writing society at the time. I was the president.
Lord President
Of the society. So I was
The
chatting
Rod of Beechism.
the rod, the gauntlet of Beech. So I was chatting away, sort of, being the life of the party, eating as many grapes as possible because it was a really fancy doctorate's lunch. Like there was weird ham and
Weird
and
ham.
really weird smelling ham. I think it was like that pancetta. So and then I remember, I think the moment just the world kind of changed was when Chris Chibnall and Andy Pryor went over to our table at the lunch. And they introduced themselves like, "Hi, I'm Chris." I'm like, "Yeah, I know who you are." It was just
Chibnall,
like
head
proper
writer.
Harrington.
Yes, we know.
And this is me in my suit with like some Doctor Who pins because I was in my graduation suit because I wanted to look really posh and popular. So I had my Doctor Who pins on the side. I had me Tom Baker Fourth Doctor tie and everything. I was decked out. You know what I mean? I was my drip was like on fire, if that's what the kids say.
Yeah.
Shut up, Rihanna. for the listening audience, my little sister just scowled at me as if like I just pulled a hello, how do you do, fellow kids? Anyway, so Chris Chibnall sat dead on straight ahead of me, and we're just chatting away. He's engaging with us because it was me and another friend of mine who was chosen as ambassadors from the script writing society, from the whole course. Out of everyone, they were like, "Oh, we've got to pick Tom because I had a Doctor Who, I had the Tom Baker scarf my mum knitted for me, the full 12-footer." So they were like, "Well, of course we've got to pick Tom to meet the Doctor Who guy." That was a no-brainer. So I was sat face to face with Chris Chibnall, and we're chatting away. He asked us, "What was your script project like?" What was your sort of dissertation script? I said, dark sci-fi dystopia with a female lead. I remember he leant right in. He was like, "You're exactly the person I want to be talking to." And I was like, "Holy fuck!" I would dying. I had two of my lecturers on the other side of the table, and they were kind of elbowing each other, going, "Oh my god, he's doing it! We've trained him well. He's pitching." So I talked a bit about my dissertation script, and then just as the conversation was kind of dying down, one of my lecturers piped up and went, Tom's written a Doctor Who story, And I was just like, I think my blood went cold because it's that horrifying moment of like, oh God, he's going to think I'm just wanting to pitch for him and try and sort of like scrimp my way into the show. You know what I mean? Like all those kind of grifters and people that always try and bug him and like, "Oh, here's my resume, here's this and that, here's my phone number, here's my whatever," which is what my friend was trying to do. My friend was trying to like go out for drinks with them and go to the pub with them and everything, and then try and share emails and everything. He was proper in their face, bugging them about it. I was just cool, you know what I mean? I didn't want to bug him. I didn't want to like, how dare, I was just an ant, you know what I mean? I didn't dare. But then Chris was like, "Oh, do you want to tell me about it? I'm your guy. This is it. This is your moment." I was like, "Holy shit!" So the story that I told him about was my very first published sort of fan fiction story. Some of you may recognize it. It was titled High Voltage, and it was a 13th Doctor story in which, in the original fan fiction, the 13th Doctor meets Nikola Tesla for the first time. It was meant to be a sort of Vincent and the Doctor crossed with like every kind of other pseudo historical, where it's Nikola Tesla at the end of his life struggling with a life of sort of regret and missed opportunities, and sort of a life that's gone past him by. History's left him in the dust because of reasons, because of obviously being stiffed out of business and just time moving on without him. It was the wrong time, wrong person kind of thing. So it was a very deep emotional story for me because, I mean, it's Nikola Tesla can be seen now as quite a controversial figure, especially because of the the eugenics thing, which I'm aware of. I'm not things that people pick on Doctor Who for are things like glazing over kind of historical figures and sort of trying to make light of sort of historical things. Um, I want to sort of make sure to people that my story doesn't do that. My story, Nikola Tesla, is quite a mean bastard at times. He wasn't as squeaky clean as he was in Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror. So anyway, I kind of tell Chris Chibnall about the story. I'm giving him the whole plot beats. I'm giving him the characters. I'm just giving him everything. I am pitching my fucking heart out. The spotlight was on me. Andy Pryor was lent in. My lecturers were leaning in. Everyone was just like prime. The spotlight was on me. I think I rambled for about half an hour just on my script, on my story, and what it was all about, the themes, the characters, particular moments, how much the 13th Doctor meant to me as a writer, as a creative, as someone neurodivergent, because obviously the 13th Doctor is like one of the most ADHD autistic coded characters in fiction. You know what I mean? Like the way the 13 rambles, the way she has her hands, like it's the 13th Doctor for me was such a huge thing. And this was all before Series 12, mind you. Even in like series 11, those kind of elements were really hard coded in. So I told Chris all about that in the middle of pitching my story. But I love how autistic coded the 13th Doctor is. And Chris was like, oh, I'm really proud of that. I've got a few autistic friends, and he was really proud that he's at least brought that to life. So I'm pitching and pitching and pitching. I finish it up. I'm kind of out of breath. I'm sort of like, holy crap, I hope that was good. I hope something comes out of this. Anything could happen. It felt like something out of bloody Charlie Chocolate Factory. And this could be the moment I get the fucking key to the factory. You know what I mean? In my mind. So Chris is there. He's nodding. He's sort of thinking it over. He's looking to Andy, kind of knowingly. He does like a knowing nod for something. And he sort of looks back to me and goes, and I remember saying something midway through. I didn't want to step on any toes while writing the story. So I wanted to say it as far away from the beginning of Tesla stuff. Because if you were going to do a Doctor Who story, you were going to set it in 19 whatever, 1940, not 40, 1920 or whatever, when he started doing the current war and everything and stuff with Edison. You'd think, I said literally to his face, if you end up doing this story for telly, you're going to do the bit he's most famous for, which is obviously the current war and the AC stuff and everything. And he's nodding his head. And at the end of it, I said, I don't want to stop on any toes. So I wanted to make sure my story was as far removed from anything that you could possibly do on telly. So he turned to me and was like, well, Tom, you say you didn't want to step on any toes. And then he said the immortal words, Series 12, we're going to have the 13th Doctor meet Nikola Tesla. And I was like, oh! And mind you, I wasn't as chronically online as I am now. So I didn't know things like that had leaked. I didn't know that the trailer had leaked early or if story details had leaked, because there was still that filming locations guy or a few people on set that were kind of telling people, oh, this episode's got Nikola Tesla in, this episode got that. No, I wasn't as online as I was then. So to me, that was a complete shock. So he flat out said, Series 12, episode 4. Yeah, episode 4. Episode 4. 13th Doctor's going to meet Nikola Tesla. It's going to be a big story for Yaz, because he pointed over to Mandip Gill on the table opposite, and Mandip were losing the crap. She was like, what? And I forgot to mention, but Chris's agent was also there, and PA was there. So as Chris was telling me all this, I could hear a chair scrape across from the other end of the room, and she darts across the room, full on bodyguard, rushing across the room, smacks hand on table, bang. What are you doing? Why are you telling him all this? What's going on? Why have you told him this? Why are you breaking NDA, Chris? And Chris is like, calm down. Thomas has figured it all out. He knows. He's written a story before us. He's beat us to the punch. And I was just like, I was dying on the inside. I was just like, please don't sue. Because again, it was at the time where fan fiction Doctor Who stuff was getting taken down by the BBC. Gosh. So there was that kind of fear in mind of like, oh God, please don't, I hope I've not done anything wrong. It's like, no, that's, it's fantastic. You've done that, Tom. I'm really proud of you for getting that story finished and doing it all well. one day you could write for the show. One day I'd love to have people like you writing for the show. He then told me who Nikola Tesla was going to be played by. And he also told me the title as well, because he was kind of jealous of my title. You're like, oh, it was like, oh my god, High Voltage is a really good title. Like ours is rubbish. Ours is something like Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror or something. And I was like, that sounds really good.
I like it. I do like that episode.
And that's what I said. I said that's a really cool title. I was like, okay, great, we'll keep it just for you then. And I was just like, oh my god. And then at the end, he kind of did a wink and went, I probably should get you to sign some NDA, shouldn't I? You're not going to tell anyone, are you? And I was like, no, of course not, Chris. Absolutely not. No. But then I did get on the phone and tell another one of my friends who should have been there. I felt justified in telling my friend because there were the three of us as friends who were into Doctor Who and loved Doctor Who. And I always felt there was an injustice served by him not being there. So it only felt right to me to sort of break the NDA that I didn't technically legally sign to ring him and go, hey, I've just been told about Nikola Tesla being in Doctor Who and everything because I wrote that story. And I remember him just on the phone going, Nikola Tesla. And I was like, yeah. But then I had to sort of keep my voice down because we were in like Weatherspoons, just in case. Anyway, yeah. So that's pretty much like my story. And the ending cap point is I got Chris Chibnall's email from that. And I did send him a copy of my story. And I've yet to know if he read it or not because he was very busy doing Series 12. And then 2020 happened. But yeah, to this day, that became my most insane kind of Doctor Who moment. And yeah, it sort of steered me onto the path of like writing for Doctor Who and writing fan stuff. Yeah, there you go. Sorry if that rambled on. But yeah, that was.
Oh, that is certainly a story.
And you can actually listen to High Voltage on Vocalab.
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, both parts, part 1 and 2.
Ewan, I love that we've got an advertising machine on the pod today.
To be fair, you are saying awful lot of running quite a lot, especially towards the start of this pod.
I mean, I kind of have to. This basically did spawn because of Jack.
She's literally using my Zoom.
Yeah.
There's that, yeah.
So moving on to our next couple of questions. There is one more big question, then it's a couple of quick. We'll just bat through them ones.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can bat through this one as well, because I think you could probably do this one quite quickly. Obviously, we weren't all thrilled by the end of the last one. But what are your hopes for the future of the show?
Just that it continues, really, for me.
I can agree with that. I
agree.
know. I don't know what could possibly happen at this point now, but I'm intrigued in a weird way. Like I've not let it dampen my spirits.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
I'm hoping for fresh blood.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I do like the odd kind of the reference filled episode.
Yeah.
But the way I've described it is stop it, Jack. I can see he's calling me clapping seal again. The way I see it is that the show's becoming more the way I kind of put this is the show's becoming more the references are the burger and then your main story is the chips.
Yeah.
Where it shouldn't be the case. The burger is your main part of the meal. Mm-hmm. That should be your story with some chips on the side as your references.
Yeah.
We want that meaty cronk burger of a story.
Yeah, I want my double quarter pounder Doctor Who story.
Mm-hmm. We don't want Doctor Who just to be a show that is obsessed with sniffing its own farts. So.
Yeah.
That is a Blu-ray.
We don't want Slovene writing the stories.
Anyway,
sorry, real quick. As for me, definitely new blood in terms of writers. I think Doctor Who should be a platform for new writers and for new ideas. And I think Doctor Who's such a great stepping stone for people. Like for me, it's helped me get into writing. It's helped me get into podcasting and things. I think something different. I kind of want real life filming locations again. Because as great as the Bad Wolf sets are, and when they dress them really well, they look amazing. But I think the studio kind of elements really cheapening it down a bit. A lot of these finales were all just in rooms, I kind of miss the outdoors and the real life locations and the ingenuity of like real life locations. You know, using a Welsh car park as like the bottom of the Statue of Liberty, and things like that. You know, the really cool kind of ingenuity of on location filming.
Make Doctor Who cheap again.
You know what I mean? Like, as great as this budget is, it's looked so cheap. It hasn't. It's looked really cheap. Like, it's all looked really flat lighting wise and cinematography wise.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's looked cheap. It just does look like kind of your bog standard movie-esque thing that
Yeah,
like
studio
Disney
kind
just
of
churns
studio
out.
filming.
Because
Yeah.
Doctor Who has always looked cheap. But
Part of the
that's
charm.
yeah, that is its charm.
Yeah, but you look at the Jodie era, and that shit film. That's filmed for IMAX. You know what I mean? They were out doing camp. They were
Yeah.
doing like lens flares. They were filming in South Africa. You know,
True.
I think the Jodie era definitely got the kind of vibe of it all right. They got the outdoor aspects. They got the
Oh yeah.
they got the mix of movie magic and cheap ass Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Sure.
That then leads us to the obvious questions of favorites. So I have 6 of these. We're gonna go around. We're just gonna say what they are for speed.
Sure.
We'll go Jack, Thomas, you, and me. Okay. Favorite Doctor.
Capaldi. It's 12.
So for me, God, it's always going to be between the 8th Doctor and the 13th Doctor. I can't decide between the two of them. Obviously, McGann because he was my first and he got me into Doctor Who. Jodie because they're so me and because they were at such a pivotal time during uni and everything. So I can't pick between those. I'll have to throw a die.
That's fine. You can pick both.
Thank
Ewan?
you.
Honestly, I juggle between these, but somehow Sylvester comes up on top. He's like a really good blend of what I kind of want to see in a Doctor. Like Tennant, I feel is sort of going to hold a special place in my heart, but it's McCoy comes out on top always. Lucky number 7.
Okay, mine. I'm kind of with Thomas on this, but I also have a bit of mixed jerk because I think McGann, Capaldi, and Whittaker are my top 3, and it's like on a rotational system with Peter Davison sometimes coming in.
I will say, for me, it does. You could ask me any given day, and it would swap. Today it's 12. It could be 10 another day. It could be 13. It could be 15. It could be any of them at some point.
If you wanted me to rank them, that would be even harder because
I couldn't
like
do it
all.
because they're all S tier for me.
Oh, they also
they've never got it wrong. They've never got it wrong. I think that's an important thing to say. They've never got a Doctor casting wrong. Every single one of them has somehow managed to just be lightning in a bottle. And it's, astounding. It really is.
Okay.
I adore Colin. Like the 6th Doctor for me is like one of my personal favorites, and it's just like
true.
Okay, next one. Favorite companion. This does include the audios.
Valerie D. Lockwood. Valerie D. fucking Lockwood.
I can't argue with that. I mean, Saf's performance alone, goodness me.
Evelyn Smythe. I think Professor Evelyn Smythe.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I think she is marvelous, and the fact that she is a lecturer from Sheffield Hallam University is one of the big things. That was my university. I just adore her. I listened to all the Sixers run while I was working at Sainsbury's, and that got me through like really tough times again. So Evelyn Smythe's probably one of my all-time favorite companions.
Yeah. God, it's not something I think about that often, but off the top of my head, I don't know if she's a favorite, but I got to shout out Lucy Bleeding Miller.
Lucy Bleeding Miller.
Yeah, Lucy. I love Lucy. Lucy was my introduction to the audio.
Yeah. They did a couple of like Donna-esque companions for the Big Finish Doctors. You got Lucy Miller and Flip.
Both
of them are pretty good. Like Sheridan Smith and Lisa Greenwood do great work, but Lucy has like a great first series, and then just continues being like a really cool Liverpudlian.
Mm,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Shout
For
out to
I gotta
me,
Charlie as
say,
well, my boo.
Lucy Bleeder Miller.
I do want to throw out very quickly, shout out to my favorite until I had Valerie. It's always been Ace. So
Yes,
Oh yeah,
good
wicked.
shout, good shout.
yeah,
I can't
Uh,
wait to read that book that Sophie's just published. You know, the inside
yeah.
of the jacket and everything.
My personal favorite is probably also Lucy Miller because again, that was my first audio companion. I just clicked, even though I started with To the Death.
Oh jeez.
Oh wow. Gee,
I
I wonder
wasn't
what
told there
sort of
was a
impact that
series.
had
I just
I
on
hope you
decided.
didn't get too attached to her.
I did. I got very attached. It was a problem.
Lucy got like
Um,
wrecked in that two-parter, and I felt awful because it was like I think it's the worst treatment of a companion. I think
it is.
it is
she
the
had
It's
just
so
worst.
brutal.
actually spoilers for series 4, but she had just come back from like a break. That's
Mm.
all I'll say on series
Um,
4.
Another companion that I love is Yasmin Khan.
Yes. Yep.
I love Yaz.
Yep.
Next question. Favorite master? No, Jack, you can't say cat. Cat, I'm sorry, you can't count in this. But I will also say one other thing. The transphobe doesn't count.
No.
Obviously. But what transfer? I assume you mean the first master, but that's Milo Parker. That's the
Yeah.
only first master I know.
Oh, sorry, I may be confusing him with the first war chief.
The war chief.
Oh,
Okay. The war chief is not the master. They're not the same character.
Jack. The music though.
Okay, but anyway, to answer your question, for me, it's really difficult to pick a favorite master because I think they all do a really good job. For me, right now, I think it's a very personal connection. It's between Derek Jacobi as the War Master and Sasha Dewan's
Okay.
portrayal of the Master.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, same thing with here, where I can't pick like a dedicated master. I absolutely adore Eric Roberts. He always dresses for the occasion. Like I love him in the TV movie. The Big Finish series he's in is gorge, so good. He really relishes the role, and he gets like to play proper dark kind of in the series. His master gets up to some serious, like kind of messed up stuff. I also really love the Crispy Master, Jeffrey Beavers.
Yeah.
He is so good, and I've met him a few times at cons as well. Such a well-spoken, such a wonderful gentleman. I remember buying all of his books at a con, and he was just like, "You've got a lot of reading to do." And I was just like, honestly, like it's all worth it for you, Mr. Beavers. You know, I'm at university up top of the road and everything. Oh, best of luck in your exams then. And I was just like, oh.
Why does that feel so sinister?
He was such a lovely bloke. And then I remember I met him and I had my Tom Baker scarf and he was right next to me for a photo shoot and he like whispered in my ear, "You're looking very doctorish today." And I was just like, fuck.
You know what? What's that one? What's that short trip that he does?
I am the master.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
That was
the master gets a
incredible.
podcast, and it's the scariest fucking thing I've ever listened to.
Yeah, and it was all written by him as well. And it's just such a fantastic. That one came out for Halloween, didn't it?
I
And
think so, yeah.
so good, so good. So yeah, Jeffrey
Um,
Beavers, yeah, and Eric Roberts.
Yeah, Eric Roberts as well. Goodness, he's got a great series on Big Finish. Big
Yes.
Finish, as I don't know if they like overuse the mouse or anything, but they do give him and her them great stuff.
Yeah.
Like War Master, especially. Holy fuck, there's some good
Yes.
stuff there. But no, I don't know if I can pick between them because I mean. I've met Derek Jacobi very briefly. I'm even staring at a photo of me and him.
It's like the Wolverine, where he's like looking at a painted picture of him laid on the bed. One day.
Maybe, but I did get to see Alex McQueen perform live at the
Yes.
Cup of Legend, and goodness me, every single line was camp, and I loved it.
I wish I could have seen that, but that leads me on to me, who I also kind of struggle with this because part of me wants to say Johnson because I have a story where Cass didn't watch Series 10 when it aired.
All right.
I had to catch him up on it,
Yeah.
and he had somehow avoided everything.
The
That is
mad.
mad.
Didn't know that Johnson was going to turn up. And
Wow.
I think Johnson's up there for me just for the fact I got to witness Cass see the master whip off the disguise and hit
Yes.
Cass just absolutely shit himself, just be like, the fuck is Johnson doing here?
That's insane.
But at the same time, I also love Missy because I love the arc they did with
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm gonna shout out the Lumiat.
Oh, okay. Yep.
True. Fair.
I'm gonna shout out the Lumiat. Next one, because we have autism hard tonight, fellas.
Mm.
Favorite villain.
Ooh.
Speed C. Jack, go.
Ring, 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 ring.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I could put as much as I adore Mr. Rangadang. I don't think I could put him in my favorite villain category just
Oh
yet.
no, I was making a Candyman joke.
Candyman.
I do love Candyman, but I think
Feel
I have
that.
to. I think it's my shouty boys. I collect nothing
Oh,
from
yeah, of
B&M.
course.
It's got to be the Daleks, you know.
Fair.
Thomas?
You know what? Controversial, but I'm gonna go with the Cybermen. I think I do adore just the horror aspects. I love how their design changes through the years. I think again the Cybermen were technically the first villains I proper met because I know I watched Spirit from Space first, but the Autons didn't appear until like the later episodes. So the first genuine monsters I saw were the Cybermen, and David Banks going, "Destroy him at once," which
Yes.
cemented how the Cybermen should sound for me forever. I also adore the Mondasian kind of creepy designs and the fleshy hands and the eyeballs.
The best is the best one. We are the Cybermen. Oh, it's the best
This
version.
podcast is going on for quite some
Care?
time.
Why should I care? You have people dying all over your world, and you don't give a shit.
Have you no emotions, sir?
Have you no emotions, sir?
Okay.
So, yeah, for me, Cybermen, and in Big Finish, they are done so much justice in Big Finish, because everything's just done justice with the audio. They can really go into the body horror elements with the Cybermen. Done.
Ewan.
Oh god, honestly, there's too many villains to count. For some reason, I don't know if it's because I recently saw them or not, but I got a shout out the Monoids and their security kitchen for some strange reason.
That is a choice.
Take him to the security kitchen.
Oh, I love
To be
the
fair, I have quite an odd choice as well. I'm going for the Cantrafari.
Oh.
Oh, the dream crabs.
Yeah, I love how they are used. I love the concepts they
I
bring.
didn't know they had an actual
Yeah.
name.
Yeah,
Honestly, they got
Cantrafari. They
two.
mentioned it in Last Christmas.
Oh, right. I didn't know they had an actual name. I always just thought they were dream crabs.
Yeah, no, they show up in 2 or 3 Big Finish stories as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They show up in my favorite Eighth Doctor audio now.
Oh, it's like the bedtime story where like
Yeah,
where
it's
Charlie
so
yeah.
it's so fucked, and you cannot tell where it's going, and I
adore
love
that
it.
one so much.
Do you want to know a fun fact? India Fisher voices every additional character in that.
Yeah.
It's literally just her and Paul.
Yeah.
Charlie was such a little shit in that.
It's
so
one of
else.
the best. It's one of the best Eighth Doctor stories going anyway, and it reminds me of that Bluey episode where it's the one where it's like the Bandit and Chili are narrating like how they're going to get away from Bluey and Bingo.
Oh yeah,
and then Bluey and
Yeah.
Bingo are like, oh no, we'll just do this. I'll have a diamond pickaxe, and that'll cut through the
Yeah.
massive thing.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean, Jack. Yeah.
Oh, I love the concept they bring. I love the idea of like a reality that's like you can't tell if it's real or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna plug myself here because Star Doctor. One of my favorite Star Doctor episodes is one that Grant and Andrew wrote called Sweet Dreams that involves the dream crabs, and I'm barely in it, and I think it's my favorite Star Doctor episode
Oh.
because of how well the dream crabs are used in that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm not going to say spoilers. I'm just going to say go listen to my Star Doctor series. Go.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
do.
But God, I love. There's so much potential with them. Next question is: it's funny that Mr. Lux was mentioned because we're going to talk about favorite episode, and we're not going to all say Blink.
That's fine. I don't really care about Blink that much.
It's all right. My favorite episode is Day of the Doctor. I feel like it's a very vanilla choice, but
it's valid. I love Day of the
it
Doctor.
means so much to me, and again, it's been there when I needed it a lot. So yeah, Day of the Doctor.
Thomas?
Okay, so my favorite TV episode. Oh God, again, you have that brain fart where you just sort of like forget everything. I love all episodes of Doctor Who, and there's always the comfort ones. I adore City of Death because during lockdown, that would help me go to sleep. Weirdly enough, the soundtrack of that's so glorious. And it'd always be a comfort kind of audio to sort of listen to. I'd be able to hear it and everything and watch it, but it sort of helped me get to rest, because I'll be doing my night shifts and stuff. But the world was so restless at the time.
I love the idea. Sorry, Thomas. You're like, hey, babe, I'm just going to go see. Let me put on some white noise. Sure. And it's like, you're a very beautiful woman, probably.
Probably.
What a wonderful butler. She's so violent.
So violent.
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite TV story. My favorite audio would have to be, Chimes of Midnight. Chimes of Midnight. I adore the theming of it. Robert Sherman is a genius.
Yeah.
I feel so much kinship.
Are you getting the
Robert Sherman.
novelization?
I have, yes. I was so annoyed because
yeah.
I was asleep when I missed the initial Big Finish run.
Mm.
I did order they did put like another set out of like another double sort of one, so I've got both books.
Yeah, they did the limited one.
Yeah.
And now it's just the standard releases.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind. So yeah, my favorite Chimes of Midnight. I love the story, the themes of it. It's a story that again it really hits me in the heart. Trigger warning for the suicide and stuff like that, but that's such a big, needing to live life because you need to live life. You're important to somebody somewhere, and that's such a big. To me, that's always a relevant message.
Yeah.
Ewan?
I was thinking through because usually I just do per Doctor, but a standout for me is probably Horror Fangro. I adore that one. It's strangely, it's almost like it's of the Hinchcliffe era, even though it's the start of
It's like
Williams
hurrah,
era,
isn't it? Yeah.
Good news, we're all going to die.
Yeah, that does. I love like the atmosphere, especially of it, and it gives us the Rutons and just tells us they're green jellyfish.
And infamously, the Max
potato
Headroom incident as well.
I should have said the Sontarans for favorite villains because they do get.
No, you got to stick with it. You got Monoids for life.
Go to the security kitchen.
I just love a war between potatoes and jellyfish, only in Doctor Who.
The new spin-off coming soon.
Going to my
Well, you say that, but there literally was a set of stories called Sontarans versus Rutons.
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Going to my favorites. TV, Heaven Sent. Audio, If I Should Die Before I Wake, which is the aforementioned 8th Doctor story with Cantafaro. And I put this one. I wasn't sure about putting this one, but let's for sake of speed, we'll just say the name. Move. Favorite score. I'm taking dibs on the Shepherd's Boy.
Okay.
Oh no, you can't because
you can't.
That's mine.
You can't.
The Shepherd's Boy is, in my opinion, the greatest piece of music that has ever been played in Doctor Who. So yeah, it's that.
For me, I hope that the stars.
That is
yeah.
I've got that tattooed.
Beautiful, and it hadn't been heard for so long until the reality war, and I was in tears hearing it again in the cinema. It's one of my favorite. I think this might be a bit dark, but I want it as my funeral track. I think genuinely, I think that's such a stunning, really, because I know Murray's into his big bombastic kind of scores and things that overplay the emotion. We're all your children, but
it's nice and gentle.
it's
a
such
nice
a gentle
piano
thing,
piece,
and it's so just I adore it. So yeah, I'd hope there'd be stars.
Let's hope we get that Series 10 soundtrack soon.
Yes.
Ewan, favorite score?
Oh, I think it's 13 from Sagan.
Yeah.
But I
Good
do want to give
choice.
a shout out to You Put the Devil in Me as well, because it's just a fun song. Just a
It
fun little song.
is.
Honorable mention,
Okay.
we do.
That brings us to the last question I have before we head to the audience section. The
Goodness.
one-word test. Now, before we sat and recorded, I gave you this question early. I want you guys to sum up Doctor Who. And Thomas, this is very important when I say one word.
One word.
We have reduced you so many times. We've reduced you to 500. I'm reducing you to one. One word to sum up your feelings on Doctor Who. Jack, go.
Doctor Who is love.
That's 4 words.
Okay. Love, then.
Thomas.
Freedom.
Ewan.
Creativity.
Joy.
To the world.
I had to pick Joy because she was last line. We have to end on a good note, which now brings us to, and also fantastic answers to all those.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. We are now on to our little audience section. So our audience responses, what I do with this section is I ask a question to the Star Power server, and on this occasion I've also asked the Time Siren server. Once I built up a bit of an audience, I'll also expand this to the socials. But in the meantime, the first question I asked for this podcast is kind of a lengthy one. You are now in charge of Doctor Who. There are no limits. You have an unlimited budget, or you can have 50p, whatever you decide. Who do you cast as your Doctor, companion, and main antagonist / villain? And the second question is, what would your first story be? If I could, I would like you all to help me read off these.
Yep, sure.
Our first one comes from, we're doing Star Power server first. Fruitcake Boy, Willow, they're from my local group, who hasn't watched Doctor Who. I will spoil that right now. And they would like to say, I would like to cast the Lorax as the next Doctor. How do you think this will affect viewer retention? I have no comment, and I'm just going to leave it at I saw them coming a mile away.
I mean,
Does it mean like Danny DeVito was the
I was
Lorax?
going to say Danny DeVito's a beast pick. But...
Danny DeVito would be incredible.
So, anyways, the Daleks came in. And I just started blasting.
I dropped my Magnum from a Magnum screwdriver.
Jack, could you read the one from Andrew Walker, Specky A?
Of course, yeah. So Andrew says, I'd have an arc spanning 2 doctors similar to 14 and 15. Tania Miller would be my first doctor, and then Katie McGrath.
Ooh.
Rianne Barreto and Connor Swindles would be initial companions, with Patricia Allison joining for the end of the Miller into McGrath. I miss companions staying for generations. One of these characters would be an alien, one from the Earth's past and one from present day. Oh, and I have an adorable and mischievous Stitch-like character as the K9 companion. As for stories, I think I'd have each season to be similar to the Dark Eyes Stranded era for 8, where each season as an overall arc, but I'm still leaving room for standalone stories.
Marvelous.
Okay. And Thomas, you're getting to read words.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Could you read the lovely one from Suddenly a Cat?
Suddenly a Cat. Brilliant, I shall. I would do a Flux style season with hopefully no pandemic and with a full 10 episodes. Joel Fry or Matthew Bainton for a second choice would be my doctor, and my companion would be a popular pop star whose name I don't know. For the first episode, the companion is a mechanic on a robot repair station and finds K9 in a pile and repairs him. While calling the doctor to come pick up his dog, the station is attacked by mysterious forces that take over the old half-broken robots. The doctor saves the day, but the station is destroyed. Brackets, the robots are fine. They are dropped off in a field. Aww. K9 apparently has some corrupted data in his memory banks that the big bad wants for their evil plans. And the season will be the Doctor, Companion, and K9 fixing K9's memory to figure out who keeps attacking them. The season will be them making their way to a scientist to help K9 and accidentally getting knocked off course. It turns out the Master is behind all of it, and he's trying to do some highly complicated, slightly stupid evil scheme.
As the Master
Business as
tends
usual,
to do.
then.
As the
You,
Master does.
could you now read the lovely entry from Oliver Smith?
Oliver writes, the Doctor would be played by Florence Pugh. Apologies if I got that
No,
pronunciation.
you got it perfectly.
The companions would be John Boyega and John Leeson reprising his role as
I'm
K9.
loving the K9 love.
The Master would be Daniel Craig.
Oh.
And the first episode opens after the last Doctor's final episode where the Master won. The universe is his. Gone are the hyperactive, chaotic versions of the character. This one is cold and methodical. The new Doctor is kind and caring, but emotionally damaged after failing to stop the Master. Meeting her new companion and reuniting with K9, the trio travel through time and alter fixed events to try and prevent the Master's victory. The arc for the series asks, how far would the Doctor go to stop their greatest enemy? Budget was no issue, right?
I love the
Uh-huh.
idea that it's Daniel Craig, but it's his Knives Out, Glass Onion, Benal Bont. So he's like,
yeah.
but wow, with the Doctor, disrupt fixed events. It makes no damn sense. Compels me.
No, it's just dumb.
Okay.
Still need to watch that, but
So good.
Same.
I can't wait for
Same.
Wake Up Dead Man. That is
Right, we are now back to me, where I'm reading from George C. Music, who provides the
George.
theme and little jingles for this pod, as well as some other stuff that you'll find out eventually. He writes in with the Doctor and immediately gives me a person's name I can't pronounce. I am so sorry.
Is it the same
It's
actor?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Yeah.
That one or Tilda Swinton. Are those picks too basic? Heck, if money and the laws of physics were no object, I'd go back in time and nab David Dixon, Ford Prefect from the TV version of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay.
Companion, Patricia Allison, will call the character Felicity or Petrol.
Petrol.
Let's go with Felicity. Big Bad would be Natasha Lyon,
Leone, yeah, I think, yeah.
as the chair of tech company Meriden, a corporation that operates across all of time and space and has a big M in the logo, which couldn't possibly be foreshadowing.
My God, it was Monsters Inc. all along.
No, it
We're
was
Monsters
Ronald
Incorporated.
McDonald.
The first story starts off as a typical season opener. Felicity is fresh out of university and struggling to find a place on present-day Earth. But oh no, her small town falls under attack by cyborg dinosaurs from outer space.
As you do.
Except things are weirder than they seem, and it's not like cyborg and dinosaurs from outer space are normal to begin with. How's everyone having identical dreams about falling? Why is it always nighttime? And who is this doctor person running around town with a photo of Felicity asking if anyone's seen her? Time loop shenanigans and anti-capitalist sentiments ahoy. Meriden have time locked the town and hired those cyborg dinosaurs from outer space. I love that they just kept referred to as cyborg dinosaurs from outer space.
As if you get cyborg dinosaurs anywhere else.
To keep
Well, I
the
mean, we did
populace...
have a whole episode of dinosaurs in a spaceship, so...
Yeah. So they're there to keep the populace under control, but why? An organic spaceship crashed nearby and backed up its flight recorder data into the locals' minds, and Meriden are keen to get their hands on that data. A note about the cyborg dinosaurs from outer space, who I need to give a proper name so I don't have to keep saying cyborg dinosaurs from outer space. They're mercenaries who can pop up another couple times in the season to save money on costumes, like the Stenza, but more successful.
Are they going to be like Godzilla, like just people in like cyborg dinosaur costumes, or are they
Who
like?
knows? Who knows? We end with the Doctor sending Felicity's photo back in time in order to close the loop, only for Felicity to stow away on the TARDIS. Or something. I haven't quite figured out the ending yet. Hire me as a showrunner to find out more, I guess.
Sure, that's an enticing pitch.
Bravo, George.
Now, I cannot pronounce the next person's name, but she knows.
Ether Hines.
No,
Oh, sorry.
no,
I can't.
Yeah, I can't pronounce the person.
Oh, of course.
Although I think it's like it is that as well. I think it is like Evie or something. But I always call her Aoi because that's how it looks to me. So Jack, could you read Aoi's answer?
Yeah, sure. So the Doctor, Ether Hines, the companion Colin Morgan as a mid-Vampire Wars Gallifreyan, the big bad Joe Cole as the Master.
Awesome.
Plot-wise, the Doctor slips back into their past by accident and has to spend the episode dodging around Division members before becoming trapped on a Gallifrey bow ship and having to decide between ridding the universe of great evil and potentially dying in the process, or running back to the TARDIS and losing the chance to get answers as to why they were exploited in the way they were during the Timeless Children. Don't judge me, I'm vampire maxing at the minute.
I love the callback to the vampire stuff because I think the Virgin New Adventures novels did a lot of stuff with the vampire myths and legends.
It's funny we don't see much of it in the show, but I guess it's yeah.
So Thomas, you're well known for your big essays, so it's quite fun. But I'm going to give you a big essay of your own to read.
Oh yay!
It's an Uno reverse card.
Joke's on you. I live for this shit.
Could you read Joshua Carpenter's response?
I was always reading the book. I was always reading the chapters in school and everything.
Before you do read it, he says at the end of this, "Eat that star." Well, joke's on you. I'm making Thomas do it. Thomas, crack on.
Brilliant. Okay. Do I read the first paragraph? Because
you can
okay.
if you want.
I'm annoyed. My answer is less than 500 words, but 1,000 plus characters too big to put into one Discord message. Upside down smiley face. 500 word speedrun, baby. No limits. Easy. First off, the Doctor, Lupita Nyong'o, Bosch, phenomenal actress, Oscar winner, would be able to tackle the mountainous role in her own way. Have her be compassionate, but also cold in ways only an alien would be at times. She plays by rules we don't see, which to others would make her seem godlike. Two companions with important roles. First, Samuel Blenkin playing PC Alex Faulkner. A naive modern-day officer of the law would definitely work with his ideologies and beliefs as a member of the Force throughout the series. He's already experienced hatred from the masses and has a big hero/martyr complex from it all. Then, in almost complete opposition, Alice Hukin playing Melissa Neo Leong, a punkish rebel from 23rd century. That's where sociopolitics are more extreme and impactful than ever. Someone may be on the very edge of tipping over into morally bankrupt acts. If you haven't noticed yet, we're going big on character work. Marvelous. Particularly with the companions representing two almost equal and opposite aspects of the Doctor, analyzing her impact on their beliefs and vice versa, where character progression trumps content creation. Yes. Villains! We love a good villain, a good human villain for a change. Fuck it. Let's go for Charles Dance. He's got the grits and the gravitas for the human equivalent of a Gabriel Wolf voice monster, but equally suave and posh too. It'd be good for my big series threat, the CEO of a time travel holiday company who start going about altering time to earn more revenue. This sounds very familiar to a possible script I was working on. You will be hearing from my lawyers, Mr. Carpenter. Come see the new timeline. Dinosaurs in Australia. Vikings versus samurai. Now only 500,000 credits. You know, we have time. Let's talk about the first two episodes.
Giving you a run for your money, mate, isn't he?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I feel like Chris Chibnall now, where like I'm just listening to the ramblings of a mad person. And now I get to know.
I like it. No Lisa Marie cameo, no Pete Beech cameo. 4 out of 10.
See, I mean, they broke it up, you know. They sort of the sandwich, the bread between the messy sandwich that I had. Episode 1, focusing on Alex's rather miserable life, is terrible, no good, very bad day. and his childhood trauma that led him to becoming a police officer. On patrol, his friend profiles a Muslim boy running, not realizing he's escaped from extra-dimensional beings that hunt for traumatic events and the chemical effects in the human body. Alex finds the doctor nearby investigating, and together they face the menace literally by painting it. Okay. It's all about confronting the past in your own way and channeling positive actions out of it all. Alex feels some relief from his own demons, and associating this with the adventure goes with the doctor. Episode 2. Yay! Analog horror. Oh, I love analog horror. A whole episode of fuzzy camera recordings, audio files, and TV screens telling the story. We explore the corruption of the 21st century, focusing on a political leader, bringing a solution to the cultural integration and conflict resolution, eliminate difference, and the freedom of speech via conversion. Yes, a Cyberman story. Melissa and the other rebels seek to overthrow the party, but the doctor must stand in the middle, stop the Cybermen, but also prevent violence from becoming the new normal. Melissa is particularly affected by the doctor's stance and action, seeing her as a role model and traveling with her and Alex. Ta-da! 500 quid. Honestly, very good. I love the companions being a counterpoint to the doctor, and I love companion doctor sort of conflict. You know, that always, we need that conflict, and we need that level of drama. You know, as you're watching it. I love the kind of the storyline they're going with. I love how the episodes relate to the companions in a way. Yeah, I pitched that. I'd accept that.
Okay. Ewan, we're now over in the Time Siren server, and we have one from James York. Would you be so kind?
So, from the lovely James York, we have Ben Daniels as the Doctor, Molly Rainford as a secret family member of Martha Jones who disappeared in 1963.
Oh.
Then I would have Adam Alley join later in the season from the future, space pilot racer a la Anakin Skywalker. The big baddie would be the Morbius for the first season, played by Harry Lloyd, who played Son of Mine in Family of Blood. It would be a 10-episode series with hints of Morbius's return around the episode 4 mark. Then gradually we would arrive on Khan for an epic battle between Morbius and his new body and the Doctor's allies throughout the series. So James has gone down sort of what the shooty story, but with a lot more setup, I feel.
By a lot more setup, do you mean any setup?
Oh, shots fired.
Anyway, that leads me on to cats, which okay. So I somewhat responded to this already. I'll read it out, then I'll say.
Have we got Cat's redemption arcs? I remember in Awful Lot of Running, she was the enemy of the podcast. Have we got Cat's redemption arc?
Cat is still the enemy of the podcast.
Hey,
Cat
get
is
your
now
own fucking branding.
Cat is now the best enemy of the podcast.
The frenemy of the podcast.
Enemy of the podcasts.
She's the Anthony Ainley of the podcast. She just stays
the antagonist of the podcast. We'll go for that antagonist of the podcast. Cat's idea was kill the Doctor off screen permanently.
Oh wow, okay.
Have the series
or this red
the...
Twilight.
No, wait, hang on. Kill the Doctor off screen permanently. Have the series revolve around the people left behind by their sudden death, potentially involving past companions who come together to come to terms with the Doctor dying, and then just flat out end the series.
Turn left the series?
I mean, basically, it just seems to be more about coming to terms with grief, which I'm not actually opposed to.
Oh no.
I thought I would be, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's a bit dramatic. But no, it kind of gives me... There's this anime I watched called Free Run, and it kind of gives me that kind of vibe. Because that deals with the aftermath of a great hero dying and dealing with grief. I won't go too much into it in case anyone wants to listen to it. Or, when you're on an anime episode coming up this series. But it kind of gives me that vibe. I think it actually could work. The only thing I would say is probably have the Doctor killed on screen. Make sure the job's done, because someone will just come back like 5 years later.
Yeah, because there's
the Doctor's alive. Actually, I guess who we've got. David Tennant in a wheelchair.
I'm gonna say there's the nobody no kill kind of rule in media. So I
Yeah.
think he needs to have some kind of either
I'm
have like the
not
funeral type
dead.
thing.
I'm feeling better.
There is
Oh, you picked it.
one more. I'm not gonna go and make anyone else read this one. I'm just gonna nip this one in the bud. This one is from the other half of Cat. It's Nat,
Yay!
who says, and I agree with this, absolutely 110%. Jodie is the Doctor, Sasha's Master. They spend the entire series dancing around each other with a flirting banter / fighting until they are forced to
Oh
work
my
together on
God.
something, and it culminates in them fucking.
Wow.
This is apparently an unserious answer, but Sasha ships them so hard that he'd be down.
No, yeah, he does. Yeah, yeah.
I think
Hope that
Kat
helps.
even
Excellent,
said
excellent,
that
excellent.
idea was better than hers. So
Yes, Kat does say that. It's a splendid idea. I want Jodie back as the Doctor. If Tennant can do it, bring Jodie back.
I mean,
Fuck it.
if we're doing it, everyone's going to come back at some point. So,
Yeah.
you know.
hmm.
That actually ends our audience bit. Woohoo!
Really good
Yay.
answers from everybody, to be honest.
Yeah, those were some like wonderful takes. I mean, a lot of people that we have working here, and a lot of them do fan audios, and you can
Oh, yeah,
see
yeah.
why. Some of the stories people have come up with are chef's kiss.
Hmm.
I think a little thing I'm going to do with you guys before we move on to our final bit of the pod. Let's make our own little series,
Oh God, okay.
but we're going to split it up. I'm going to pick the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, I'd like you to pick the companion.
Oh.
Ewan, I would like you to pick the villain.
Okay.
Thomas, I would like you to pick a one-sentence story.
Fuck.
Oh, it's like Doctor Who Mad Libs.
Yeah.
So the Doctor will be played by. Oh, this is a tough one.
Wayne the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
You know what? Just for that, Pedro Pascal.
Oh.
Bringing
okay.
back my community show answer.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, because that ultimately does influence my pick for companion. Because if we can get Pedro Pascal, then I'm gonna go someone who's actually my pick for the next Doctor.
Ooh.
So, I think it's interesting to have them as a companion. I'm gonna go Emma Darcy,
Okay.
who is a phenomenal actor. You've seen them in House of the Dragon, probably, and they're fantastic.
Ewan, who are they fighting?
Well, I've got a sort of redeem my answer from earlier. They're fighting the Rootons.
The Rootons, okay.
Okay. Thomas, good luck. It's all hanging on you. You have to sell the story.
Okay. So the story is set in the near future. It is set at a sea life center, not quite determined which location it is, but it's at the sea life center. And basically, the very last race of Rootons are kind of kept in conservation at the sea life center. So they've been reduced to a jellyfish exhibit because time's progressed so far that Rootons aren't known what they are anymore. Like, we're so far in the future that their kind of meaning in space and time has kind of gone. You know, they are just weird jellyfish blobs. Like, the history is gone. The Sontaran, the Sontaran Rooted Wars somehow ended, or it's kind of like the Cyberman thing where they assumed they extinct. You know, time's progressed that far. And essentially, the Doctor seeks to free them from this sort of forced captivity. You know, they're not mindless creatures. You know, they are living, thinking beings. They don't deserve to be poked and prodded at by kids in a crappy little sea life center. Meanwhile, in another enclosure, you have possibly what could be a Sontaran, or it could be a really badly baked potato. And essentially, it's a race against time to stop the sea life facility from overgrowing this potato and bringing back the Sontarans and doing a free willy with this Rooton, or the Rootons that are in this captivity.
Right, we did it.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's not a bad story.
That was a very long sentence as well.
I used a lot of commas and ellipses.
Yeah,
Well
I
done.
can smell the comments. Talking of how we all connected that leads us on to the connections game, which I
Hey.
still haven't named properly. But here's the jingle. Okay, so connections. As you know, we have different topics each episode. Next one is not going to be about Doctor Who. The next one's going to be about Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, sweet.
So, on my phone, I will add some lovely music to this in editing. But I'm going to give you all 60 seconds
Oh, God.
to write as many connections as you can between Doctor Who and Dungeons and Dragons. Your time starts now.
Okay.
How are we writing this? What, on our phones or okay.
On phones, chat,
God.
whatever.
Oh
Go.
God, okay, give me a moment.
Don't send them. Don't let anyone else see them. The clock is ticking. I'll have some sort of dramatic music here. Ooh, Doctor Who, Dungeons and Dragons. Can you roll the dice? Nobody say got a chance, that won't be accepted. Legitimate answers only. There may be prizes. There won't actually. We don't have a budget for this show. But it's good motivation. And we're on the last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Alrighty.
Yes, thank you. Good man, starting to play on my phone now. Jack, how many did you get?
2.
2. Ewan, how many did you get?
5.
Oh, Thomas?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6.
Oh, okay. Jack, we'll go for your 2 first.
Well, I've got the fact that there's a 5th edition role-playing game called Doctors and Daleks by People 7, which is based on D&D. Thinking about that, though, can I add a 3rd to this?
You know what? Because the other guys are way ahead of you, sure.
Yeah. So obviously there's the magic of the Gathering.
That.
You know.
Yeah,
which is,
Jack's remembering Tom's conversation earlier on. It's been a long podcast, by the way.
It
hasn't felt like
it has.
And also there's the episode Rogue.
Yes.
Which, yeah. Obviously, Rogue being a class in Doctor Who and it featuring D&D dice as well.
Yes.
So.
Okay. Ewan, could you give your answers as Thomas has got the longest list?
Yeah, so I sort of did it as Doctor Who 2 Dungeons and Dragons. So I started with Doctor Who, then I went into Big Finish, then Alfie Shaw, and then Doctors and Dragons, and then Dungeons.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because Alfie Shaw wrote a short trip for the 7th Doctor called Doctors and Dragons.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your only one, though?
No, that's my 5. Doctor Who, Big Finish, Alfie Shaw, Doctors and Dragons, and Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, I see where we've gone wrong here.
You sort of treat it like a wiki, you know, like the wiki.
He's done it like at the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. While I love how you threaded it, that is technically one thread. That's all right. It's a learning curve.
It's a brilliant thread.
It's a brilliant thread. Next time you're on, I'll make sure we've explained the rules properly. That is my bad. Again, first episode with guests. There's a lot to learn here. These things happen. Thomas, don't let the team down.
Okay, so now in no particular order. Instantly, I thought, hey, we've done a lot of plugging this podcast, so I'm going to plug. Is it Dimensions and Daleks? You're an awful lot of running spin-off.
I believe so.
Because obviously
Yeah.
that's very D&D inspired, and it's based off the
Oh.
role-playing game. Fantastic work on that. I adore it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Um,
technically don't want to count it because I did say "Got a Chance" doesn't count.
And technically,
But-
technically,
I've not mentioned the God of Chance.
technically,
Though.
we're not an official Doctor Who thing as well. So
Though you did mention the rule book, so
yeah, but no, that's a licensed thing. That's
I'll let it
yeah.
slide on that one bit. If you can name the others.
Oh my god. Okay, so obviously I then had the role-playing game, the Doctors and Daleks. Magic the Gathering, but because Magic the Gathering has had collabs with Dungeons and Dragons before and Baldur's Gate, and you can, with the nature of the game, mix your Doctor Who cards with these other cards. They're all synergistic with one another, so they're not like separate entities. You can have like a deck of like Transformers cards, My Little Pony cards, obviously Doctor Who and like Fallout and the Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and all of the aspects of the game work together in one, which is lovely. And then obviously the episode Rogue, as in that's a class in Dungeons and Dragons, obviously. Also the name of the character. Rogue's dice, as in he's got like a D20, a D8, a D6 there. You obviously also have Rogue's roll for initiative line, which he says in the episode.
Okay, I see what you've done. You've broken up the answer into 3 parts.
But technically, they should both be disqualified, and I should win.
Well,
No, hold on.
we're all winners.
We're all winners.
Ewan, you say hold on. Like you haven't, like you even have a fucking chance. You didn't even do it right.
Oh my god.
Well,
No, be fair to him. I should have explained it better. Again, first podcast with guests. I'm going to get some things wrong. I'll work on it for the next.
yeah.
But
I connected Doctor Who to Dungeons and Dragons. Sue
He
me.
did the
Ewan.
task. He just did it slightly differently from
Ewan,
how
respectively, eat shit.
Same question, different answers.
he...
So that's my sort of
I'll do it
diagram.
again. Here you go. Anthony Head was in Doctor Who, in the Infinite Quest, and in Story Union. His daughter is in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So is Tom Baker, but you don't see me flexing.
Tom Baker's in Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
Okay. I mean, he's also in Wonder Park as well.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Anyway, fact checking.
Hugh Grant would have been the Ninth Doctor if he hadn't turned down Doctor Who. He's in the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Yeah, but he got to be in Paddington too, so
he's correct.
What? Who's correct?
What?
Tom Baker is in Dungeons and Dragons.
What? The original film or the new one?
The 2000 film.
one.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
We don't count that one.
No,
Fucking hell.
I'm counting it. That is Dungeons and Dragons technically. I'm going to count it.
the first ever thing I saw Tom Baker in.
But
was
I'm also going to
Roundabout.
immediately disqualify it because it wasn't in the 60 seconds.
Ha.
No, I understand. Okay,
Yeah,
so
no, that's again, it's my fault first. There's
Right.
a lot to learn when doing a podcast.
yeah.
Still at the start of my journey. Because I mean I've learned a lot from the other one, but I've not been in the host chair. It's very different. And I respect Jack a hell of a lot more now.
And presumably with a start there must come an end.
Yes.
Please let us go.
I haven't actually thought of an outro yet. But if you guys want to quickly plug anything, by all means, take your chance now, as if you haven't been doing it the entire episode.
I actually haven't. It's been Ewan doing it for me. Bless him.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, it's your messenger pigeon.
I'm surprised I shouted out Vocalab twice.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only real thing I've got to shout out is Beyond Master Plans. Go give that alert. It's up on the Master of Shadows YouTube channel. We've got a couple of short releases out already with a couple of our doctors, myself and Star's Iridescent Doctor. I played the Shadow Doctor, Star plays the Iridescent Doctor.
Don't forget.
But you might have seen her as an incarnation of the Master as well. That will be revealed. And yeah, it's a wonderful project. Just a what if scenario. Actually, you'll hear Jack as well, funnily enough, as the first Doctor. So yes, indeed. But that's all I really have to shout out. Go search Beyond Master Plans on all the socials, Blue Sky, Instagram, all that jazz.
And all that jazz.
I'm also going to quickly shout out. It's kind of a self shout because it's time siren, but I'm not going to shout out Star Doctor. I'm going to shout out Red Twilight, who has a little mini prequel to their upcoming series. That should be this year. All fingers crossed. Very exciting. A lot of things are cooking. I'm literally looking at the production chat right now, and it is on fire in a good way.
Nice.
As opposed to the many times it's been on fire because of chaos. Thomas, Jack, anything you quickly throw in before we wrap this up for good?
Well, I've not had a chance to plug yet, so yeah, I will say.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm Jack Alexander. You can find me on most social media platforms as Ann_awful_Jack. I run the Doctor Who podcast, An Awful Lot of Running, with Star as our amazing editor, our wonderful co-host being the ever lovable alcoholic dungeon daddy, published author Robin Fold himself.
He'll be on next week's episode.
Yes, yeah. I look forward to listening to that. I also did the Doctor Who Community Show, mainly at conventions for now, after taking that over from Jack Reeves. And yeah, Doctor Who Red Twilight, a cross-production from Time Siren Productions and 77 Years zine, will be coming out this year. So yeah, very excited. Recording our first episodes in studio on the weekend.
That's so cool.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That is
Okay, that's cool.
cool thing.
Yeah, that's very cool. Thomas.
Okay, I've got a couple of things to plug, but not really. I don't know. So of course I've got my Twitter, which is at @TPDBeech. Yeah, it's just my thoughts. It's just every now and then I tweet stuff. I talk about my writing projects. I'm very open with mental health, which is quite nice to have that platform there. I'm surrounded by lots of my friends. I've got an Instagram as well, TPDBeech1963. Again, that's very much just stories every now and then. I have a couple of produced written works. So I have obviously my 2 Vocalab productions. I have my short trip, Ex Libris, featuring Miles Taylor as the 11th Doctor and Oriana Rose as Amy Pond. Fantastic work. That's on the Vocalab Productions YouTube channel. We also have High Voltage, which is a 13th Doctor Chronicle. So it's a hybrid narration / full cast, and that is starring Isla E. Torrey, Mart Ionian, Keston Howard, just everyone basically. I think Oliver Dallas Howard, I think that's his name. But pretty much just everybody essentially is in it. It's a 2-parter because it's massive, so it's like both hour-and-a-half long parts. That's also on the Vocalab Productions channel. I have flash fiction written. Shadow of the Gallifreyan, published. It's a short story collection. I have unofficial Doctor Who annual published. I'm also in the Doctor Who. The fan club? What's it called? The Doctor Who appreciation. That's it. I say. I'm in one of the short volumes for that in the fiction section for that. I've done a lot, but the problem is a lot of it's kind of like inaccessible. So I'm glad I'm doing a lot of these audios now. I have recently written a script for, I don't know if I guess I'm allowed to say, but I've written a script for the Red Twilight series. I'm very excited.
It's peak. It's peak.
I'm really excited, very nervous for that. It's a topic very close to my heart.
That's something I don't understand. Chris Chibnall complimented your ideas and you still get anxious.
I don't know. It's
the goat.
I never ever want to big myself up, or I never want that inflated ego. I want to always be humble and stay humble. And then I think something. Can I announce something exclusive to this podcast, Star? Like,
hell yeah! Give us the exclusive.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to quickly just grab something that's going to help sort of show off what I've got.
Thomas is moving off camera for the audio listeners.
Okay.
I believe this is an audio podcast. Everyone's an audio listener.
Okay, so a few weeks ago, I had Star produce something for me that would come up in a future announcement of some sorts. It's something I've always wanted to do for the longest time, but I felt intimidated by the particular space that I wanted to inhabit and wanted to join in with. But thankfully, recently, after Doctor Who's finished now and being a part of the An Awful Lot of Running podcast and getting my voice out there and having a lot of people recognize me and sort of want to hear my voice and want to hear my thoughts on things, I have decided to start up a YouTuber channel. So I'm starting up my own Doctor Who YouTube channel. I'm going to be one of the nice ones, in very McGann fashion. It is called the Whovian Wayfarer. I don't know if that's backwards on the screen, but we've got a lovely logo designed by Star herself. We've got a channel banner, we've got a channel logo, titles, everything's ready to go. I did start filming a little bit of MCM, but nerves got the better of me, unfortunately. So there's not that much footage. I might upload it, I might not. I am planning on vlogging Big Finish Day. That's going to be my next big plan. Because the guest list of that's very sparse, it's going to be a nice opportunity for me to run around and film and sort of talk my way around. I'm also going to be doing Magic the Gathering content because I'm really into that. So I'm going to be doing unboxings, possibly teaching people to play the game, playing games of my own. Not on my own, but playing my own games of it and sort of helping people learn the game, play the game. I also want to just do like the unboxing experience and sort of practice speaking and practice my confidence on camera, and kind of just making the content. But yeah, that's my channel at the minute. That's my official announcement because I've not told anyone about it yet. So I'm very excited. I made badges for people at MCM who saw me and everything. So yeah, that's my big announcement. I'm going to become a YouTuber.
And don't mess us up. Don't be like the others.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No.
We have faith in you. We look forward to when that comes out. We look forward to everything that you guys do. And with that concludes the first guest episode of Star Power.
Yay!
Oh my god, he really is fulfilling the Robin role. He's even done a woo now. But Jack, you're going to break the news to Robin, right?
No, that's on you.
We've generated.
Right. Well, with that, Star Power is done and dusted.
Hooray!
Peace out, bitches.
Well done. Very good.
Until the next one.
So, after we recorded that, we had a bit of a chat after, and I came up with the outro, which finally, so I'm stitching this bit on just to do it for the first time and just make sure it's there. But outro time. This isn't just an everything podcast, it's an everyone podcast. Peace out. If you enjoyed this episode of Star Power and Everything podcast, then please consider subscribing or leaving a comment or maybe a like or a follow or whatever it is your platform that you use for listening to podcasts does. And don't forget to look at the link tree in the description for my socials and my Discord for all things Star Power and Beyond Stars Productions. Thanks for listening.